products to do 3D imaging, and then there's a number of things that you can use with a slicer. So, but they're pretty plentiful right now.
Okay.
But we can talk about those specifically.
Yes.
So.
I don't know if Tinkercad is something I use. I just don't know the process of how I get something from here to here.
The Tinkercad is one of the tools you can use to make a 3D model.
Model, okay.
Or you can like download something from Thingiverse. Is another thing. If you there's a couple of websites. One's called Thingiverse.
Okay.
The other's Printables. Both of those have a ton of pre-made things. So if it's something that you want to print, like for instance, I needed a test print today because I want to have this multi-material thing running. So I just went out to Printables and downloaded this poker chip. This is Printables. Somebody has this model that's out here that you can download. And I took that and I'm using Crucial Slicer, but here is very similar. Import it in here and slice it with my settings, and then that makes a file that the printer can print.
Just to let you know, we're going to be building a printer online live streaming. I'm building a printer today. If you don't want to be in the camera, just stay over on that side.
Stay on this side?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess the purpose I got it is to make my own cookie cutters, because I have a cookie business, and so those weird shapes that I can't find. But obviously I just want to kind of get the feel of it, and I know eventually I'll maybe get like better filament and food safe and all that. I just kind of don't know how to, this part of it, because I'm not a tech savvy.
So just focusing on did you say something?
I'll say, yeah. I was going to say cookie cutters are easy. Yeah.
I think there's even some software now for making cookie cutters.
Yeah. Okay.
But notwithstanding that, I seem to remember that we looked that up on the internet. But just getting your slicer set up, Pure is probably fine if you want to.
I just downloaded it, but I haven't made any like an account or anything. See, I just put it. This one, I think. But this is like all, and it asked me for which printer I have.
To do that printer, and then non-network printer, and then
Like I looked for this thing. But
should be able to go Creality. Creality is the main.
oh, okay. See, I was looking for Ender, and I was like, oh.
Then under Creality is the Creality Ender. These are just standard, so I was just
Just put in automatically.
that's it. Now that looks just like that. So now you can import models in here, click slice, and it's going to create a file that you can put on the SD card in there. So go out to, once you got the Thingiverse, let me see. I'll look at it at the same time. Go to the website. You need the web, our web login is the password to make stuff happen. Probably. No, that.
You want to see my co-host for today? Rock Lobster.
Oh yeah, I've seen people print that, the Flexi Rock Lobster.
So the dude got, I guess he got it from Scorpion King or whatever, got one of the high quality models from of the Rock.
And then once you go there, just go to Thingiverse, Thingiverse.com. Here he is.
Hello. You gonna try again?
With the Pet G?
With the Pet G?
Did he tell you what happened? Or did you read what happened?
I read what happened.
He worked fine, and then I checked it home and
I know.
Yeah,
You work in the hospital too?
I do.
Yeah, cool.
And he referred me, and I was like,
My mother-in-law worked there being moved.
Where?
oh.
Oh, Methodist. Okay.
She was one of the clinical nursing supervisors there. I think they're retired for a few years.
You remember
She was
Trent?
in Getman.
Remember Trent Bontley?
What's that?
Remember Trent Bontley? He was here. I was helping him the last clinic. He got a job at Baptist.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And he just got a job somewhere else, so he's not working at this anymore. So go out there and just in the top search, type cookie cutter. Let's find a cookie cutter. Cereal? Oh no, filament.
You can try to eat it.
Okay. So find one, click that guy, and then usually scroll down. Typically, files is one big file. That's a.
I don't even remember what I changed.
Most of these images you want it to be in
Let's screw it back up.
slice. That's just a 3D image type. So you go back over to Cura.
Oh, can you hand me my
Yeah.
Diet Coke and cheese right there?
Uh-huh.
It's in the
You
slice.
make it seem so easy.
Breaking the bottom of the barrel.
And some people will tell
Diet
you stuff
cherry
just works
Pepsi.
around me, it's a curse. Like, you normally won't work this way, but I'm sorry. So now that's set up, this was the default settings, you click slice. Click that slice button, it's gonna slice the file, and then when you output it to
I'm gonna be live streaming the build of that printer, so okay. If you don't want to be in the camera, they're gonna be pointing that way.
Oh, that's cool. I don't care.
And that's gonna take and slice it into layers. Because
We just got full disclose.
Like one layer and you another. So that's why it's called slicing. It's literally taking an object and slicing it into layers that it's going to print, and creating all the commands that tells it.
First try, only because it wasn't USB.
So, yeah, it's like an hour and 15 minutes, like that.
Oh, to print it, not to get the like.
No, yeah, it's sliced. You know, so you can say.
I remember the days when your slicer would take hours to slice.
This printer it takes like a micro SD card. You would put it on that micro SD card, stick it in there.
Okay, I forgot all about that. I forgot to bring all that.
But that's literally all of them. You know, to get it going, that's all you have to do.
Having the what?
What?
So let's say,
I don't think I have any numbers.
Oh.
let's say I wanted to custom put that in, or make, or like add the to that.
That's where it's kind of hard.
Gotcha.
So, I think, we can see. There's some software out there that will generate cookie cutters.
Isn't that what Cookie Cad's whole website is? Isn't that their whole
Hey,
spiel?
Cliff.
Yeah.
I need this is gonna be killed anyway. There's nothing on it. I got reformat anyway. But you want to blow that up.
There's one.
Oh, okay.
Want to give it a shot? At least it started. Oh, okay, that's what this is.
Yeah, that's their whole spiel. It's like
It's just software for just making cookie cutters. They also sell filaments for making, because that's where I saw them. I got those filament samples.
Yeah, that's how I found them.
Yeah, cookie cutter. Instantly turn an image, clip art, or sketch drawn on paper into a real drawing without having to worry.
That's not horrible.
That sounds nice. Easy enough.
I just got this laptop for the time, trying to have like 3 different laptops, and I wanted to put everything on one.
But make sure you format it immediately because I don't know what's on it.
Oh, geez.
Don't hit auto open.
Yeah, yeah.
I bet I should have brought my other laptop.
Save this and then.
Oh, we won't turn that down. Way too
So, then we gotta get this guy plugged in.
All right. Welcome to the Mid-South-Makers and the live build of the Elegoo Neptune 2S. I've got it right here. We haven't had it even had it out of the box yet. I will be building it with only the tools and materials included. Except when absolutely necessary to use something else. And all right, so let's go ahead and get started. Oh yeah.
This is supposed to go around.
See what my code is.
Okay.
That's
Well, please tweak what you
Rock
can.
off.
is. Everything's in it. That's fine. They get tight.
And if you can't stay for the whole Twitch stream, this will be going up on our YouTube channel sometime this week or next week. And so we have your standard black foam.
Okay.
I'm just gonna dump everything over here we don't need.
We'll
I
simulate
All right. And as most of your printers come nowadays, you have your Y bed pre-assembled with an XP entry. Here are the instructions. It is a fairly hefty manual. Pictures are good. So let's make sure we have everything. So let me go ahead and start pulling the rest of this stuff out.
So you like prepare, you can preheat, that looks like PLA. So that's going to preheat the printer because to move the filament or anything, it's got to be warm, otherwise.
There is the hot end. And this is
Should be push that. You need to move there.
I see.
there
It's kind of in
is
the middle there.
rails,
I can put that there.
the power cord.
Broken pieces. PLA tends to be a little broken over time.
There is the main. We have a display up front. And there is some container.
I'm
There's
not.
a drawer of,
Oh, yours is
there is a
fancy.
drawer in front here. Here is the
Eh.
here is the LCD. There's a little drawer in front which will probably have some of the
PGG is
tools.
probably
We'll pull those out in a little bit.
food safe stuff. That's like the cookie head
Put that
site.
down right here.
That's going to be.
And we have
Their filaments are
first
gonna be
level of
PGG.
packing is done. And we have everything else.
In a way, it's kind of food safe, but can't
Power
really clean
supply?
it. It won't deal with
It
higher
is-
temperatures. It's made from corn, which is nice.
There's a Chinlang power supply. So not a mini well, but it should be okay.
Yeah, this should be heating up. So this is your build plate temp. That's,
Here is your
filament goes through temp.
extruder
45 is
as
not.
well as your X-axis. along with your filament runout sensor, and it is a dual gear. It is a dual gear extruder. There is your bag of other stuff, including cable, tools, looks like your end stop, and a belt. So there's a little bit more assembly to this than you find in a lot of the Ender 3 style printers now.
Get my bedroom level. Because it doesn't look like it right now.
You got your finger slicer,
So,
diagonal cutters,
I think so. For what I have, this is 2018, right?
yeah.
screws, and wrenches,
I'll say this.
end stop,
The advantage to like a Prusa is it just prints right out of the box.
all
can
the
be
necessary screws.
Unless your name's Price.
A very tiny sample of PLA. We will not be using this. I have other filament with me that we will use.
Like, this
Well,
This
yeah,
is
pretty much.
spool holder.
A lot of these do auto bed leveling, so you don't have to worry about it as much, unless you're a little fanatical about settings.
Other part of your x-axis. Your z-axis motor.
Kind of print stuff that's not like aesthetic. It has like functional sizes. So when you need to be exactly 10, it needs to be exactly 10. Or it's like, hey, print 10, and it says, okay, here's 8.
And I believe this is probably your y-axis and your z-axis. I mean your z-axis and
Yeah.
your
Yeah, like I'm like all different floor, and I'm like, price.
Yeah. Last night,
So yeah, there's a good deal of assembly on this one, Cliff.
2 weeks.
Oh, really?
It's not just X and hook Z to Y and you're done.
Yeah.
I actually had to build the whole gantry.
Yeah, I was at North last night around 7:30.
Alright, let us do some
I was only
drawing
in the
here.
ER and checking the floor. So, I work for Omnicell now. Direct cabinets. It's been real busy this week. Drove 800 miles, logged like 70 hours.
And speaking of
Room.
chat, nobody in the chat. So,
My shortest
we
day
shall
is
keep
10 hours.
going here.
My longest day
Alright,
is
so
16.
I told my wife I wouldn't be here until 7, so let's hope I don't lie.
The worst one is Monday. You're supposed to get a lot done. I ended up going to Baptist Kitchen and spending 7 hours on site in their OR suite trying to fix my machine. In full bundle suits. I was like dripping.
Let that feed through.
All you did
So
was
you got spaghetti.
What's that?
You got spaghetti.
Oh,
So that's 06, 07.
I don't know.
too far away.
You're too far away and I'm too close to
Yeah, you are.
it.
Probably this non-Prusa filament.
Yeah. Thanks.
So this is 1, this is 2.
If you get serious about it, you probably want to use something like a Prusa just because it's a lot easier to fiddle with. You got they just kind of work pretty much out of the box. That's kind of usually what we tell people. It's like, hey, I'm going to go buy a printer. It's like, well, do you want to learn about how printers work, or do you want to just print stuff?
right.
If you want to just print stuff, Prusa's the right way to go.
Yeah.
If you want to learn about 3D printing, or just don't have the funds at all, Ender's the way to go.
I like to talk about this. This is more, it's a little bit more,
Expensive, yeah.
Yeah.
like, when I say a little, I mean a lot.
Yeah.
But, to me, that's worth it. To just have it, be ready to go. That's not.
Yeah, it is definitely, it just works. Like I do Toys for Tots Drive every year. We're about to get started on the Toys for Tots Drive. I have 10 printers at home-ish. I have 3 of these, and then I have a bunch of other printers.
Well,
What I use,
Okay.
these are fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's.
I have 3 Prusas.
Yes.
three Prusa issues.
They, but when I print all my stuff for the Toys for Tots, I do it all on the Prusas. I know they're not going to break down. It's gonna, the machines will work. Maybe that silver filament. It's not Prusa filament. I think it's
All right. Five, so one,
It's not
two,
red yet, or is it still purple?
3,
We're purple. So
4,
Yeah, I
5,
forgot. It goes really slow.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Let it do. It started printing the purple chip out of my stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, the orange.
12 is already connected.
This is a multi-material
13
setup.
and
So you can do
14.
different colors at the same time on the
The test film is 15, which you're not going to use. Power cord is 16.
The I've got that laptop at home.
And the belt
work.
is 17.
This is a issue. Well,
That's probably a little older one.
No, mine's a- I think mine's 8 gen or 9, 8 or 9 gen. But it's the yoga. I didn't know that. I thought that was just a filler spot for the
Unless
touchpad.
it's down
I didn't
here.
realize I had changed their touchpad that much. That little black spot. The
Oh, yeah.
the fingerprint sensor.
you're able to run multiple.
7.
Yeah.
All right.
Multiple colors? Not with this setup. You have to add some stuff to it. What's up, Tim?
AM. Camera's on this side, so you may want to stay over there.
Unless you want to, see his memes in the background.
All right, so
It also may not like the 0.6 nozzle.
is it Rebo fitted? Is it Rebo
I just
fitted?
have to resize it.
Yeah, I can't. I'm blind this far away, so I couldn't.
Yes.
I can't see the color bands from here.
Yeah, probably
What's the
need to-
0.25?
All right, so we have.
That's not a 0.25.
It's not. You put the color on.
That's a 0.15.
Yeah, pink is 1.15.
Oh, that's right. It is. That's the little one.
HMS 5.5.
I have not
5.5.
That's right. Yellow is 0.25.
We have PM4 times
Well, it doesn't like
18.
this corner, so maybe the dead
And we want
Excellent. Okay.
PM420.
Oh yeah. See, like this.
HM420.
See, I thought I didn't even know my 520 had it.
HM418.
Filler strip. The filler instead of active.
Yeah, I have one of those with the fingerprint stuff in it. My kid uses it right now.
My old T42 had a little tool system like that. I didn't realize they had two
Supposed to be some M4
You used to have to swipe your
Are
finger.
they also in here?
That's
And
the
I
way
guess now you just put
Otherwise,
place your finger on it
do
and go.
not have.
Yeah, supposedly the old ones, the swipers are supposed to be more secure on the older ones.
Yeah.
I think they figured that out. Like used to be
Oh,
you could just
yes.
use like a
SWM4.
piece of Play-Doh and a ring or something.
Okay. All right. And
I was
we
just
have
yeah.
our tool.
I was telling this to go to extrude. This is so in the menu here. This is main menu. You can click this. You can go down to control.
You're not working
It's
on
still
a mini
check.
today, yeah?
I went to a something called prepared. And then
Yeah, I'm working on
use
it maybe today.
axis. And so the extruder is one of the axes. So I was I was telling it to move that axis,
That's
like
the
you
US
can have
one?
it,
Oh, that's an
move
elevator
the
printer.
Y
That's
axis.
yes, this is a Neptune 2S.
Where the
So
bed go back and
Oh,
forth, you
that.
can have it move this back and forth.
Okay.
we do not hack.
That's
We're hacking it.
X, Y, and then Z is up and down.
It'd be good to have
This is
something.
extruder, so I was having it, just kind of the motor push this film.
That can use 1.75 G.
Yeah.
Remove it.
Well, we got the mono
Just to have it, instead of manually pushing it, just have it push that old film out.
All right. So first,
It's still.
we want a 6 and a 7. So that is
So we've got the file on this drive. Now, I'm not going to do a print because this bed's not connected. So
6
Yeah.
it would be
and 7.
pandemonium. But you would take your memory card, put it here, but be a little careful. Push that in it. It has like an indent that clicks in. And then, try it. Now it's on there, so you click the wheel, you go down to or you may have to reset it. Let's initialize that. Oh, okay, never mind. Just had to say indent. So now you can print from TL, which is scroll down to that guy.
So
And you click it, and it's going to start heating up, and then it'll start printing. It might even print well. Now, the problem is then if it doesn't print well, there's like a bazillion things that can be weird. But that's the general process of getting a 3D object, put it in Cura, let Cura do its magic to slice it, put it on a file, put that file in.
so this should go.
This
right
tells what
here.
goes into Cura. What comes out of Cura is a G-code file.
So let's say we click print,
And
how would I know this is local?
So the way you level a bed,
Like, would it give me an error
It's
code?
face down. So it's hard to tell from
No,
it's hard to
it
tell
will-
from
it
the
will just-
drawing,
Just print it.
but
yeah, it'll kind of go a little crazy.
so the
Stuff will just go bad like
as you're looking at the
spaghetti,
printer, the left side of
plastic
the,
everywhere, plastic not sticking
gantry
well.
has 2 little holes
Let's,
down here, and those go down. The right
so
side has
You
some
go to
offset
auto
holes,
home,
and
which is going to
they
take
are
the
they
x-axis,
face
the y-axis.
the short
It's gonna
end
go down
should
this
be
thing.
at the bottom.
I'll show you how-
So then we need these HM5 K5.
Say when you have a chair.
With the washer, and I will need an appropriate tool, which will generally be
What's usually level is what you want to make sure is that the nozzle is an equal distance always. First thing we have to do is home it. Now it's home, so the machine thinks it knows where everything is.
so
It's at
what I will
X0,
do
Y0,
to
Z0. It
make it
should
a
be
little bit easier.
just touching.
I am going to hold this slightly off the
Well,
bed rather than trying to
It's off.
balance it. That way, I can
So let's heat it up. I'm going to pull the filament out. And the main thing was I wanted to get the old filament out of it. And I'll give you some new fresh filament. And then what we're going to do is move this bed, put this piece of paper under it.
Oh, I
and
need
there's a
the
knob
45,
there.
not the
There's a
25.
knob at each corner.
I felt that was a little small.
And so you want to take and do that in all 4 corners.
Back in the
Make sure that you're level. And that's really it. It's not that
And if you're not level in all 4 corners, it looks like this. See, this one's all junky and torn and rippled in the corners.
Yeah.
And the one in the middle's like nice and perfect and flat. So the middle's flat, but the board's skewy.
See, my problem is I come from the days when just getting plastic out was the volume you needed to cross. Good looking prints was not an option. So I still have kind of, if I get it to print, I'm happy.
How do you adjust it?
Well, so these boards don't have. It's not like yours. Yours have springs and adjustment knobs. You can change.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We, chasing down the rabbit hole to get perfect balance, modded our boards so that we can use screws and nuts to do it that way. Otherwise, you just have to do the software and hope that you get close.
Springs are overrated.
So I went in under prepared,
Right,
there's something called
she's
disabled
all
steppers,
nuts and
which turns
bolts.
off the motors. Or you could just kind of turn the printer off and back on again. But that lets you be able to.
So you saw Stefan's video last week about extending the
Basically,
melt
put the
zone
piece of paper
using a
under there.
volcano nozzle and
Feel the
nuts.
way that is.
I
That's pretty good.
saw-
Right there. That's about where you want it to be.
The headline on it, I did not read or
Yeah,
watch
you
it.
can put the piece of paper under it.
So if you do watch it, I always wondered that. I always had this idea. You really need a full-size volcano heat sink
That one.
because it's not going to cool that much
So
in
that's
15, 20 millimeters from the egg in the block to the. All you need is an extra, a little bit extra
Exceedingly
conductor
loose,
and
which is
it'll be fine.
probably
Yeah,
right.
that's apparently right. But I always had, I'm not the type of person to go out and scientifically prove that like he is. But I'm glad the thing niggling me in the back of the head is right.
So you just move this up and down until it gets just like that, where it just kind of turns.
Like burning. It ain't me.
You sure it's
And
not?
that's all you do to
You sure it's not the Chinese engineer here?
You
No.
want to level this pretty
It
often.
smells like electrical fire.
Make sure it's level. But right now it would be level. Like
Is
when
the
you
air
get home,
conditioning running?
after it knocks around and moves around,
But it
you
has been.
level it.
I mean,
The whole
are
time,
you
'cause I'm
feeling
sitting
it?
right underneath it.
Okay.
But it's been running the whole time. I'm telling you, something's burning.
Auto home
Is he in there
take it
using
down
that
to
acrylic
zero.
cutter?
Yeah, he's probably using
Turn the printer off at that point. And
Yeah.
you go measure under.
I get so used to that.
It's not over here.
I've been in here for an hour. So. Well, that's because the vent's up here. You're not gonna smell it. It's not gonna be strong in there. It's gonna be stronger out here. Probably with.
You can't even begin to smell
Yeah, no, it's because all the ventilation's right there.
That's it.
We probably need to read.
You straight up smell it blown out. As soon as I stand under it, I can smell it.
Yeah, we need to. We probably need to pad and.
That you're gonna.
The laser ventilation was a bit slapdash. We wanted to be.
A little hard. You really kind of want some sniff.
But you know that's the thing. I've been.
Yep. That ain't level.
Cut the film that comes on the
He's been cutting since this morning. I've been here for a couple hours now. So.
Well, when I came in at 12:45, I couldn't smell it. I just started smelling it when I was sitting here.
This
Maybe he got it.
short,
I don't know. I know those things are kind of finicky.
and that goes through that little hole.
Maybe in a corner that's, what is it, if it's slightly too high or out of focus and it starts to burn instead of.
Well, he's doing leather,
And this goes through the
so you're smelling flesh burning.
and then you push it.
It's weird because usually I like the smell of burning flesh. This
Push
is
it all the way until
pleasant.
it stops. So you go all the way.
It's tannins.
You put- and then just push it until.
Oh, I never can remember which freaking COM port this computer
That's
uses.
it. The same way to unload it. So you when you're done, just pull
You're
that
still
and
into
you pull it up.
device
Device
manager.
manager, yeah.
I just yanked the cord. The device manager yanks the cord. Whatever disappears. This is
We got the Discord work. That guy knows a lot about 3D. He hasn't been doing it very long, but he knows a lot about it. It's on that price. You should call him and bug him every time you have a problem. What I think should be what happens.
Well, this is, yeah, I am now his follower, because he's the one that encouraged me to come to this class. So
Exactly.
it's like, okay, and now I have a bunch of questions to go to class.
I'm bought into this. I think that's it. Let me get you some.
Oh, I didn't start recording. So.
I might have some, like,
This
some
may
type
not
of
be on
clips.
here.
Do
Let
you
me
think
start
if I
recording.
use that to hold this bed down?
Yeah, both clips
Okay,
will be fine.
so if you're watching this on
Like from
YouTube,
I
I
have
started
like a
already
hair
and
clip.
like, you missed the
Or
first
the hair clip, but you know, it's the
half
both
hour.
ones, the-
I forgot to hit
I don't
record.
but
So what I'm doing, we have unboxed it. We have opened all the pieces. I'm going to do a quick. There are all the pieces, and we are starting to work on the X gantry. I mean the Z gantry.
These are a little bit nicer, maybe a little newer.
My mouse is
And you can get them on just Amazon. Amazon has, you can just do a search for filament. Price could probably give you some nice recommendations when you get to that point.
all right, so there's all the parts. We are have the instructions right here, and we are using the parts that came with it. I'm not using anything external. The only thing I will be doing is using different filament because the filament sample is just way too small to be usable. So we're doing that. So I'm in the process of putting the Z gantry on. I put in the left one and the right one, and they're all solid. So now we go on to the next step. So the next step is we go and insert our HM420s. HM420s are right here. And we are putting the power supply box on.
Home. It's a 7-hour drive through Georgia and Alabama, whatever.
Alright, so we have our lock washers.
Yeah, you really need something, and you need something metal too. Those might get windy.
And we are and this is our first live stream on our channel. We have a couple test ones. This is the first official one. And we plan to have more in the future, so just in the future, come follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/MidsouthMakers. And we'll hang out every once in a while. We have our 3D printer come up.
Hello. Hello. Hi, I saw it. You have an open house event or something?
3D printer clinic today.
Oh.
Do you have a 3D printer?
I don't, but I'm searching.
Make yourself at home. We're all just kind of
Tinkering.
fiddling around.
And just like you know, I'm live streaming printer build, so if you don't want to be on camera, stay away from this section right here.
Oh.
He's building the printer. You want to watch him build a printer?
No one's looking for me.
Then you know it. So are you new to Memphis? Or are you
No, I'm a lifetime
standing? Work, go to school?
I work now. I'm civil engineer. I'm doing grad work in Nashville in computer science. I ran our lab with all our. We had a bunch of Ultimaker 3.
Nice. Now, who you work for?
Small headquarters in Kansas City. It's a satellite office.
Cool. What's the name of the company? Trek. My brother was an architect. That's why.
Oh,
I did all mine in CAD software. Just
But it's not the, it's a engineering developer company.
The most common one you're gonna find for this space is gonna be Fusion 360.
CAD is one of them. Fusion 360 is one. Blender.
Part town.
It all just depends on
Yeah,
what.
East Memphis, these two are out of Kirby.
I used to use
feel comfortable
SketchUp
with
until they raised their prices to outrageous.
I didn't know.
That's the
Seeing
problem
him
is,
go through the process of
a lot of the really good ones are also really
It's a
expensive.
strange process.
Yeah.
It's not a normal, like,
Fusion 360, I used to have a really
go become
robust.
a doctor.
I mean, it still has
go
a
to
good
lawyer,
community addition for doing your own stuff, but it used to be really powerful and free, but then things happen.
How long have you guys been here?
I'm not able to get front
we've been
face
here
for
what,
her.
maybe
It's not wanting
We've
to
been around
connect.
for 11 years.
It's not doing auto connecting.
So I connected,
Hickory.
so the printer's on,
Pickering, yes, Mr. Pickering.
and then
Close family friend to Pickering.
if I plug it in, it shows up under other devices.
That's a big
It
part.
shows up as preset.
That's who built the pyramid, I think.
But if I go over to
A lot of
ports,
architects.
Okay.
it's showing continually open
He
COM
got a-
ports
he had
4,
work
8, and 9,
for
and a new one
the,
doesn't open when I plug into my USB
Kroger
controller.
on Union.
The new,
One's
yeah,
not-
He designed that
One
one.
COM port's not opening now and closing.
Most of what he does
but
is like warehouses.
Yeah, but
I
that's
could
a
have
nice
swore
tree.
it's COM port
Yeah,
4
that's,
in the
that was a
back,
fun job.
Yeah. Old Cecil.
because I'm pretty sure that's the same port I use for church.
Midtown Seafood, that's a really
Let
pretty.
me see.
Alright, there we go. So we have the power
But
supply.
it's a real on that, and you know, like, the whole thing is
Alright, so what is the
whether you
next
get
step?
your architect's license or not.
Next step, we need to
Yeah, I was just gonna say, how many materials are you
install the in-stock.
I'm trying to print this.
So that is this right here. It says installation height about 5 millimeters, and we want to use the 18 millimeter screws here. So
Well, it's so material cooling, so if you get a lot of wind, you can cool the material and curl it.
Yeah, sure, you have
Mm.
non-uniform.
Most of these things are better than enclosure.
do I want to know?
Like an ultimate.
Yeah, for sure.
I love the scan for hardware changes and it blue screen.
Yeah, I never could, I would do little OBJ design for those UltraMakers and
Yay, Windows.
Pure. I never could make good print.
We were just learning about it.
Alright, I will be back right now. And in that, I've got to get a
Making
little
device. There's a, I looked it up, I thought I'd heard of it, there's a program called Cookie CAD that you can like,
Nothing but good.
you can take a broad image, take a snapshot of it, put a cookie CAD, it'll make a cookie cover, which is really cool. If you're in the cookie, you know. We've got opinions in my house about cookies that are like crumble, for instance.
Yeah.
Not associated with crumble.
No.
I'm not saying it's not good thing. But
Yeah,
we're not fans of
They're
crumble.
not.
Now, on the other end of the spectrum, though, we tried insomniac cookies. Those are really good. Okay. Well, Vikings not like that. But my brother's in a mixed marriage.
So
He's
1
married
inch.
a Viking fan. We're still
So
not
1
married
inch
to
is
that.
2.54 centimeters. So
I just gave a boat ton of money. My oldest just
half of that is 5 millimeters. So that is. I want to do the math because I don't feel like I'm good on this.
Yeah, so you can, the cookie can let you
So about
take
3/16 of an inch. So one thing I'm gonna do on here is I'm gonna make sure what I'm doing is I'm taking a right angle and making sure that the geometry is nice and has nice
I
right
would
angles.
use, just get, I would probably use something like that cookie cat.
Check the other side.
That way you could, I think that's really designed for
Unfortunately,
I don't
I can't
wanna
get it on
learn
this
how
side
to
simply
do
because
cat
the
design. I just want to make cookie cutters. That's what I would do.
but it does look like it is. It's eyeballing it, everything looks like it's straight up and down. Left
I've
and
not
right,
used cookie
front
cat
and
before,
back.
I'm guessing
So I
it's good.
think
I didn't see how much
there.
it costs.
Yeah.
I'm sure that
Now,
they're charging. Might have a free cookie. Oh, you can do it online. Just extract the file.
That's what I was looking at.
There you go.
Are these similar platforms?
And these are
Yeah,
the
we have the same printer. He just has a
as the
multiple serial change on top.
Okay.
But you know, it changes firmware and everything. It kind of becomes a little bit of a
Because I've opened a couple files and made the MMU.
and if you do non-multi-material, it asks you like control it.
Isn't this the same brand that the gentleman on social uses? The toy designer, former toy designer. He does all types of nice robotics, but like the open dog. Did he use?
Probably. Are you talking about like Michael?
James Bruce.
Depending on how well this thing prints.
No, James Bruton uses Laws. He uses Taz, and
But nobody uses low price anymore.
Oh,
he does. He still he shouts them out and sponsors every single video.
video. Yeah.
Don't be that guy, though. Don't go get a loan.
He's British.
What's-
We give him a break. He's British.
So what's the issue?
What's his face just bought a Lulzbot brand new?
Lulzbot?
They're essentially too much money for too little features when the rest of the industry's moved on.
Okay.
And they were a really cool company in Denver, and then they sold the company to these folks in where they're at now, like North Dakota or something like that.
Oh wow. Okay.
It just got weird after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a very long time since they've had any real innovation. But one of these printers, we were just talking about, like, when you get started printing, they usually ask somebody, like, do you want to learn about printing and how to build printers and fix printers, or do you want to just print stuff? If you want to just print stuff in Cruces, just work right out.
Although I do have to say, for the stuff that James prints, Lulz is probably one of the better choices. He does all these very large robotic parts.
Yeah. I can appreciate
The,
They're
the
one of
one
the few
thing,
printers that still use the 3mm filament like the Ultimate.
the one thing I'll give Lulzbot is like they just don't
Most now use
break.
1.75.
Yeah.
Finer. What's the advantage of a finer film?
There's one in there, isn't there?
Huh?
Isn't there no Lulzbot?
There's not.
Yeah,
well,
that's it.
okay.
That thing in there
There
is
was three in there. There's now one.
the one that's left has saved my
I
ass so
remember
many times.
trying to feed it.
The
You know,
Lulz,
I don't know.
yeah, it's the Lulz and then the Tasman is going to have
gear
there.
box in the back.
So what we used to have, we also have an
rounding,
AO101, which
back
is
it
the
out.
original
It
Lulz.
was a lot of.
Get old filament breaks.
And then we also have, so
You have that stuff.
Yeah.
it's a Taz, but the thing is, it's a Taz prototype, so it's not really, it's like halfway between a 5 and a 6.
I think it's a little older.
Because Paulie used to work for Walls. He was testing products.
Paul.
And
Or you can revitalize
so
it.
using the tools included is not always great.
Yeah.
You've got
Dehydrated.
hands
You
and
can use anything from like a
small space.
cheap food dehydrator to
So
brine rack.
we're probably need to adjust like some
Like vapor permeates. Like here's
end stuff.
Most of these filaments are hygroscopic.
Okay.
Will absorb moisture.
Oh yeah, because it's plant based, right?
Yeah, even the non-plant based. Like this is PETG poly.
What code is M105?
Glycol added in to make it flow better. And it's really hygroscopic. Absorb a lot of
Was
moisture.
it doing
The
anything?
nylons are probably some of the worst. Nylon.
I still have not figured out which port this is on, but one of the ports, as soon as I hit connect, it's just giving me continuous M105, M105,
That's
M105.
an information request, I think.
Very hygroscopic. If you ever see
105
polycarbonate
report
that's been exposed to
temperatures.
UV for a
Yeah.
long time,
It's done.
that's because it's moisture leaving, it's drying out.
So it sounds like you're connected to the printer.
Plus you get
It's not acting
a lot
like
of
it's
that's
connected.
moisture, and
That's why I'm-
brittle over time.
Yeah.
Why can't I use this?
You try out the USB port.
Yeah?
Or your printers are like, it used to be an ABS and PLA.
All right, so
Right now,
that is on.
PETG is really popular.
Now we
Polycarbonate
have
filaments, blended polycarbonate filaments.
Yeah, because it's not communicating. It's not two-way traffic. I'm not able to set printer. I'm not able to talk to it. It's not acting like it normally does when it connects.
You don't have
One
anything
of the
else
fun
trying
things
to
is I don't have
grab?
to
You don't have any other software open, do you?
multi-material.
They used to bite me all the time if I had multiple
No, I just have
comp
Cruncher
software
Face
open
open.
and Cruncher Face would go,
Yeah.
can't connect. Oh yeah, 'cause I still got Turo.
Yeah.
I forget though that I've got
Take this.
Alright, hold on, a compliant.
USB super speed port over here.
All right, so now we're taking this and the rod, and technically the instructions say,
So you're saying you're printing.
kind of says at the same time, so that's what we're doing. So you need the cable
And then the like
screw, which are right here.
It's running through this one line.
This has 5 different.
When this stuff first started, and I wasn't even into this
Prints
back
all
when
the
it really
parts that
first
are
started.
supposed to be.
People were using weed whacker line as
Oh, it's serious.
that's the only thing that people
Prints,
could
it prints those.
Yeah.
Well, they were using the reason they have it's 3 millimeters because the original one was PLA welding bonds. That's the original material, and then people realized, oh, weed whackers, that's where 1.75 came from because weed whacker line is usually 0.06, which is 1.75 millimeters.
So that is signed, and I just haven't signed the color sheet.
I just got me 5 pounds of nylon weed whacker. I'm gonna put through some minis.
So it doesn't back it out.
It does back it out.
The original machine doesn't
And then but then it also has the purge.
Instead of rubber films, you had string pull leads.
that's been heated already.
It runs.
I'll stick in there.
That's cool.
So you see
My
here,
friend
you see here almost
actually
like a
had one of the
gradient.
wind machines, and he brought me.
Okay, yeah,
He
slowly.
brought me like he printed like a replica of like 9mm bullet. He said it took him like all night to get done. It took him forever to get it working. the print once he got it going was fine. It just took him like all night to get it set up. We've come a long way. It's only going to get easier.
I'm not gonna any more.
It's raised.
Yeah. So
So primer face isn't seeing it at all. If you hit connect, it's not.
It's
a thing about all the
no,
different
it's not seeing anything.
There's
There's only one port. When I put it in, it doesn't seem to matter.
Do you
So I don't
want
know.
to put the touch it and make it work?
The people who make the printer
Right.
obviously know everything about how to get good
Much
printing
finer
out
than
of
that.
it.
I've got a smaller, so you can
Tell you that,
drop down and
so you gotta find out your own setting.
This is
Yeah,
a
that seems like the
0.4,
easier
so
way.
So
But I just do that.
don't trust the demo print, but know that you can achieve the same level of quality.
So if you want to touch this, it's not working.
You need hands laying on?
Uh-huh.
Healed!
Yeah.
What's it doing?
So Cruncher Face like refuses to see it. COM ports are only showing 4, 8, and 9. If I plug it in back here, I'm pretty sure this is COM 7.
Well, the thing is, the COM port shouldn't be assigned to the USB port. It's a virtual COM port.
But it just
so.
it sees it right here.
Yeah, that's not assigning a COM port.
Yeah.
That's probably so. And you have the Purse drivers loaded on there?
I mean,
Did you
it's,
download the full driver package?
I can't imagine I didn't. It's got version 2.4.
Well, plug it into mine. See if that's it.
It's been fine. I was plugging it in and I was on COM 3. It would come up. It wouldn't let me talk to the printer,
That's
but it was
yeah, it's coming up on mine.
it was showing as yeah.
But like these are just placeholders. They will work as COM ports, but
Gotcha.
they're not like when I unplug this.
Yeah. It refreshes.
They're still there.
So
Maybe reboot. Maybe try turning it off and back on again.
yeah, it already blue screened itself. Remember earlier when I tried to I told it to refresh something.
And I thought I was one that was always cursed. Of course, mine are my own mistake.
Well, of course, it's Windows 7. It's Windows 7. There's not supposed to be more Windows updates.
Windows 7, man. Why?
Oh, well, there's your problem right there.
Dude, what's the deal? Oh man, I didn't even know.
Windows 7 Master Race.
Dude, Windows 7. Why? Is there a reason for that?
Yeah.
Do you like living in the past?
Well, this computer is a 2011 model.
I know. I have that exact computer at home and it's running Windows 10. It's okay.
All right, so we got the Z-axis on.
You gotta do that trust
Now
fall.
we've got that
It's
on
okay.
again. What you want to do is you
The only
want
reason
to
my
bring
new
up,
computer has Windows 10 is because it
you
came
want
with
to
it.
bring up your T-square, and you want to make sure
They
again
don't have
that
updates
this
for Windows
is
7 anymore, do they? Or
No. No, it finally just phased out.
that it is.
Well, technically they're not doing updates for 10 anymore, right? Didn't I say they're only doing security patches for here? Now that 11 is now official.
No, they're still doing 10 because there's still a bunch of computers that can't run 11. They got those weird requirements for 11.
Well, so apparently they're just suggestions. You can still make it even if you don't have the TPM sensor. You can tell it to just proceed anyway, and
It's
it'll
not just TPM sensor.
Oh.
Like that processor won't run it. And I think
Well,
it's
yeah.
anything earlier than 8th gen Intel won't go.
All right, and we're good with that.
This is better for me because I just downloaded like Toxic of Barbie.
So now we are going to mount the x-axis on piece 8, which going back here is the one with the big holes on it. There we go. Piece 8. They're basically the one without the word eligible.
Tracy.
So we take your hot end assembly here. Excuse me, we take the extruder assembly.
So then you would download STL. STL goes into Cura. Next thing you know, you're pooping plastic. And
That's
everything on the
crazy.
floor.
So according to the drawing,
There
it
is some
like
things
this.
that have, I think cookie cat something that's relatively new. And it is, it has been getting a little easier to do certain things, so that's true.
So
So, like, if you think about traditional CAD, like something like, I think you mentioned a couple of, there's Tinkercad or Fusion 360. That's where you have to go through and like design, like draw lines for
So it's a little hard to
the
tell from the
sides,
drawing
the
here
edge,
how it's oriented. However, I do know from
it's a lot
experience,
more.
this part right here,
That's part of
the
it.
backlash nut is right here, and it will,
It would look just like that.
it has to ride over the, it has to ride over the nut like that. So I know also then
Probably in Tinkercad it'd be
that
something along the lines of doing an
the,
outline and then extruding that up into a shape. Again, relatively difficult and not something that I'm particularly good at. I'm not the right person to talk to. I've learned there's a number of but there are a number of YouTube channels and videos out there about how to do Tinkercad and Fusion 360 and other 3D modeling software. So there's a lot of stuff on YouTube about how to do that. But my gut feel is that would be a whole, for me personally, it would be a whole lot of work when you have a thing like that cookie CAD where you can draw your own image and it spits out a cookie cutter.
Let them do all the work.
Yeah. You messing with Tinkercad?
Well, I'm trying.
Yeah. If I could pull up, I don't know. I think I can pull up my phone, but I got some pretty awesome CAD drawing.
It's getting into 3D modeling is a whole thing. I mean, it's like an art into itself. There's not kind of just do this kind of
Oh,
thing. You have to go and design
Yeah.
and do every
So
single
it's going to go
component.
right here.
I'm good at like
So
those brackets, like big square block
cut out. It's going to
brackets,
go over
handles and
the
stuff.
left of this
I've done some of
building.
that kind of things. But that's about it.
And we're going to take the PM418,
Yeah,
which are these right here.
I really have to sit here and re-download the entire package just to get the driver.
I've never even.
Welcome to the world of Prusa.
Why don't you have the driver separate?
Welcome to the world of Prusa.
That's not the way that Joseph does things, and so it's not the right way to do things.
It'll create it for me, but if I want, I'm trying to figure out how to send it. Like,
Yeah, because it's definitely.
Word.
Should be an
it's
octopus,
more-
man.
See it just
You know how you do your bed level?
Yeah.
Sweet.
So,
Oh, I know.
I just,
Click the
I'm trying
button,
to figure
man.
out how to
Let's get the pie.
I lucked out.
I'm not against it.
I lucked out. There was a guy here that sold me one or two.
Yeah.
He's like, I still can't believe that.
Because that's high a little bit, right? That's way high.
That's it. For me, that would be acceptable. I would probably look at what it looked like on the print. And that's probably a little too close.
You know what the easiest way to customize it would be? Instead of trying to do the whole 3D plan, maybe just use a 2D drafting program and then just add whatever text or additional images to just a
So
regular
one thing you can do in Tinkercad is you can do that. You can create an outline in like Inkscape or something and export it as an SVG. Import,
You think I should
As an
uninstall or just
SVG,
relaunch the
scalable
executable and see if we just try to do it?
export it as an SVG. Import it into Tinkercad, and then
You think I should just completely
basically
uninstall all
extrude
the
up.
Prusa software and do a reinstall, or do you think I should just try to do a repair?
No, I would have it plugged in and look at that driver and see if you can. So plug it in.
It's plugged
open up
in.
your devices. Open that device where it's misidentified it
Mm-hmm.
and say try to go to update driver. See if you can point to something
So, I
in
would say
Bruce's
this is
directory.
We probably, what's your program?
This is Procreate.
Okay.
So,
So,
not a change.
well, you probably have a couple options as far as like export
I would move it
to here.
here.
Let's look at the export guide. I don't know how you
Could not find.
import.
All right. So now I'm gonna put this on here.
I don't know.
Dancing? Dancing?
Can you get my computer plugged in before it shuts off?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's nothing like the old,
I think the question we have to ask is, what are the
Lenovo Death
file
Tone.
types?
What's that?
When, I said, there's nothing like the old Lenovo Death Tone. When the battery goes critically low,
Oh, yeah,
and
that's
then it makes that chime back and forth.
Can you do it like PDF, PNG,
Oh, I don't think I've heard that sound.
PNG,
Well, that's the other thing, because Windows 10 and Hibernate do not, Hibernate/Sleep do not play well
There
together.
you go.
Okay.
And so, like, Yoga that they gave me for work,
So
whatever,
here's
that's
the piece
basically
too.
that
I
with
don't know.
Yoga.
I don't know how their algorithm.
All right.
It winds up, dead half the time. I was, doing an install, just started to my back. Well, there it goes. It's dead.
Like it
I had that problem with this one.
another file. You
I am running Windows 11 on it now,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, turn off.
but I ran Windows 10 on
And
it.
then just import that overall outline.
So Elga One thing you want to do
And then
is you want to give us a.
It's okay. I don't know what I'm gonna get next.
I
Haven't-
imagine that this
Haven't decided. I have like a lot of laptops though, so I may not. I don't know. I don't know.
It's not.
Whether
It's
I
not
need a
finding
personal
it.
laptop anymore.
I went to Prusa 3D, the folder, the program files. Next, nothing. Couldn't find it.
You try just doing a Windows update, see if it would do it that way.
Do under where?
Like do the was it the open up properties and then go to update driver. And then
You said automatically.
yeah.
So Elga gives you an Allen wrench, but then it has you insert a screw where there's almost virtually no way to put it in without hitting the motor. And you have to do this a lot.
That makes sense.
Give us a nice straight one.
What's that?
The artist's dilemma.
Yeah, I'm not even really able to show you the issue. I mean, now that I know it's doing this on PLA too, so the bed's definitely at a level. But here it's perfectly, like, I mean, that's pretty dang flat. And then when it gets to this cool middle in Pen G, it's not happy. It's like it's too far and too close at the same time. It's like here it'll be too close and here it'll be too far. It's like the bed can't be that vastly different.
What is your extrusion multiplier?
One?
Because usually for PLA it should generally be between like 95 or so. But if I remember, PETG is different.
Unable to install.
Because you're on Windows 7. I bet you they don't support Windows 7 anymore.
They do. It used to work. I've already done this with this computer. That's the part that's like pissing me off.
Are you trying to install?
Okay,
The
so
driver
now we've got
the
the
printer so that Contraface will talk to it.
extruder on.
Run a G80 command and see if
Now
it
we
goes
need to thread the belt.
You make sure
And we want to do this off because
you make sure you turn off driver learning.
here is the belt right here.
no idea. What's it under?
Oh yeah.
Try reinstalling it.
There's a ton of Etsy.
You can't. That's what I'm saying. There's no.
Custom printer
Go back to general, update driver.
I've done both automatic and browse and pointed it directly to the Prusa folder. I still couldn't find it.
If it's, especially if there's no filament in it, you just turn it
See
off.
what,
Even if it's
exactly
hot.
what area you're running into.
It's a good idea. If you're not, I mean, if you're going to use it again, you know, then like you're going to print something tomorrow, it's okay to leave it in there. But if you don't know the next time you're going to print, it's best to go ahead and pull it out just so you don't get the broken film and kind of thing you saw earlier.
It's really trying.
We do it once a month. Try to do it on the second Saturday of the month. Sometimes things change. Hey, do you want a multicolor LCD panel? I have some.
Thank you.
So yet again, I saved the company about a few $1 million this year, and yet again, no 5-star.
Well, you don't get 5 stars for saving the company
Windows has
millions
been
of
able to
dollars.
install your Cruise Mark 3 could not find driver for your device.
I don't
Because the website click support.
There you go,
Yeah.
Danny. It was a
All I
BQ.
can do is download the entire format.
It was marked as a BQ.
I mean, if
Yeah,
I
that's okay.
relaunch,
So that came out on my BQBX printer.
BQ.
if I relaunch the XC, maybe it'll just have to do it. I want to do a repair.
You try that.
I took a picture of that label for those, with that, order.
Or Cookie Cat sells. They also sell cookie cutter film, and I've used some of it
It's
before.
my destination.
Actually, I used to have some samples of it. I don't have any right now. But yeah, feel free to take those samples.
Folder already exists.
Yeah, you
Like
can have
to
those.
install
Yeah.
that.
I get these samples and I try to get rid of them up here.
Let's just hit no. It'll be
Oh
canceled.
dang it! I forgot to bring all my protopasta stuff. I was gonna bring a whole bunch.
Danny.
I'm just gonna uninstall it.
I've only got a tub
Then I'm
full.
gonna lose all of my. Wait, I can go back.
There we
Put your
go.
setting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that I don't.
Yeah, we'll be here next month. So clips on.
Export config bundle. Is that what I'm looking for?
Export config, yeah.
Config. Which one?
Export
But you have internet, so
export config with physical printer.
thank you so much. Even this is.
So now we take the.
Oh,
Save it to the folder you
I've
want.
already saved
Make
it.
sure that's plugged in under the table. So.
Today? Fine.
No,
You might
I-
want to save a new one.
Yeah,
So here's
I haven't.
the
I
hot
haven't
end, and we
changed
want the
anything since
and we want the
that,
hot side down.
that day.
Yeah, that'll take a little longer to reroute, but just be cognizant of it when you're printing.
Okay.
It doesn't get tangled up with anything. I think it'll probably be fine with that, but eventually you want to move it to the back to where it make sure it stays out of the way.
My goal is to do like my first print, because I just did the demo print. So hopefully tonight, and I'll have to show progress when I get it done.
Excellent.
Thank you all so much.
Hey, no problem.
Bye, Price.
See you later.
Do one thing about this front cover before you install it.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a support right here. I say this because I put it in those two things right there are supports. You got to pop those out.
Okay.
Because the other PC board clicks in and it won't click in. Oh, you got a textured sheet?
Mhm.
I have one too. I haven't printed on it yet.
Yeah, I got it for the Pet G, so that I wouldn't destroy my.
Oh, that's
smooth
just
sheet.
no the matte. I've got a matte sheet I haven't printed on.
Oh
That's
yeah. The new one for the nylon.
No, I don't have that one yet. But it's the matte. It's PEI,
Alright,
but it's
so we got
matte
the head
instead of
on.
textured. So it's like it's kind of in between smooth and
Now-
textured.
Because I've seen the satin one too.
That's what it is. Yeah, satin. That's it.
And then I know they just released a
Put
new
it on
one
the
for
other
the
nylon.
nylon.
You can't use isopropyl alcohol on it.
Yeah, that's what I heard. What am I doing? I've always liked the control panel. I honestly think control panel is what's hanging me up from moving to 10 on this. It was just so much easier to find everything, and XP was even better.
You know you can just use God mode, right?
But
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah,
there's this thing called God mode that is essentially
I've heard.
When I found out
Windows
about
7
right-clicking
control
on the start button, I didn't care about
Yep.
control panel anymore.
That's all I ever do. Right.
Once I figured out about right-clicking on the start button, control panel is dead to me.
Well, no shit.
or even just
Exactly. That's exactly what I said the first time I did it. I'm like, what?
What do you use the Raspberry Pi for?
I'm gonna use this for Octopi so I can run this thing without a display.
Ah, okay.
Because Octopi is essentially it's. You know how you can print things from a computer?
No.
Well, you can.
Okay.
Octopi just lets you use your Raspberry
Okay.
computer as the object. you
Well, let me.
So
So
the interface looks like
I hate
this.
to do this because I like Gina a whole lot. Okay, it's actually Octoprint. Octopi is the built-in image that has Octoprint already installed.
This is what it looks like. So it's basically
Octoprint
Okay.
lets you use your Raspberry Pi computer that you print things from
Okay.
instead of having
Sorry.
a bulky PC
Okay.
connected.
Nice.
You can wirelessly talk to the thing.
Yeah.
And technically, you can check your printer status at any time, even if you're like both.
Sorry, I was being a
you
little
send prints to it.
pedantic
So
there.
the slicers plug into it, so you can take from the slicer
Like I
and
said,
send
I
straight
like
to
Gina.
Octoprint.
So the Raspberry Pi in this is your own build, I'm guessing.
This is an Ender 3 that I've modified.
You understand your monitor. Okay. So you got a brain in here. That's your microcontroller. The Raspberry Pi.
Or no. There's a board under here that is the printer controller,
Okay.
and the Raspberry Pi connects to that to the USB port in the front.
Oh, you're just using the
Are you-
Wi-Fi module in here? Is that what
No. So
Using the Linux server. So Linux server's running a process that that takes and does, you know how, like on the Ultimakers, when you would probably just put like an SD card in it and print straight on the printer.
Or like
but,
he's trying to do and unsuccessfully talk to his.
But you can also plug a computer into it and print from the
See,
computer.
if you stuck a Raspberry Pi
This is
on
like
that
doing
one,
that,
you'd probably
but
be
it's-
connecting to
Do you
it.
have a
right now.
Raspberry Pi
It's a
for it?
computer that's permanently set up. It just happens to be a Raspberry Pi computer to queue prints and show.
I
and
might have one in my
monitor and all that
bag.
sort of stuff.
That's a
It's like a print processor, so it's kind of like a secondary print processor on there to manage print queues and temperature and
Alright,
other
so
stuff.
we got the
Wow.
other side on.
Is there a
Now-
membership to this space?
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the
So-
membership process?
Go to MidsouthMakers.org. You become a probationary member for it's $25.
$25 for the application fee.
They vet you, make sure that you're probably not a serial killer. If you are a serial killer, that doesn't exclude membership. You just can't actively serial kill at the makerspace probably. But they usually takes about a month, and you come and hang out at we have open house every Friday night, 7 p.m. Come hang out on our Discord, which is also on MidsouthMakers.org.
So then what we're
And
doing
then
is we're
you get
taking the bill.
then full membership is
Yeah.
$40 a month.
Attachment and the
You
little-
get a key. You can come here 24 hours a day. You can't live here, but you can come here and work on stuff at any time.
Especially not since we took the shower out.
Yeah.
Wait, you guys had a shower?
When we
And
first
not,
moved
not,
in,
not, not, we didn't want it, it just came with the space.
which now it could
This
be like
thing-
an OnlyFans fundraiser kind of thing. But
Only.
I was gonna say it could have been a full body decon, but fine, okay, whatever.
No, if you saw this was a shower.
Yo,
I got pictures of
This is-
the
It can still
tear.
be a full body decon.
I got pictures of the teardown somewhere.
so this was there was a group of guys that founded MidsouthMakers. Most of them are. Danny was one of our. You were a founder. Danny
Yeah,
was one of the founders.
there's technically 2 meetings I didn't go to at the beginning that Dan and Joe had, but I was at the first meeting with Pumping Station 1 guy at Tops Barbecue.
Top bar.
We were going to eat an interstate, but they were closed, so we had to go find something else because we promised the Chicago guy barbecue.
Nice.
Alright.
This is a wonderful model. This is the only time I've seen a space like this outside of like a university shop. Like,
Some of the
This
maker
isn't
spaces
it.
around the
It
country.
goes.
oh, what?
See, I'll
This
show
is
you
just like the shop.
I'll show you the rest of the tour. But this is some maker spaces go more commercial, and ours is everything here is member led. Like some maker spaces have tried in Memphis to kick off and say, okay, we're going to buy a bunch of equipment, attract artists, and do all that stuff. But then they end up having so many fees, and
Yeah, you can't. It's not sustainable.
or it's so expensive to become a member that it doesn't make sense.
Or the
Yeah, 'cause
person,
I
or the
think there's
person,
a
or the person
woodworking
doing
one
it has
over in,
at least
Wolfchitz,
3
isn't there?
screws loose.
Huh?
Yeah, there is. That's the part of their wood. Again, it's not, everything here is maker.
There's still a maker group at the library.
We're a not-for-profit.
The public library?
Not a,
Most it's a kid group.
But it's safe. Just
There's I remember at U of M when I was there one of the last years, they finally decided that they were going to put a 3D printer in, and they put it in the actual library,
Yeah,
like in the quiet room, and I was like, you're going to put this in the quiet room.
they had 2 maker bots.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they weren't, but
So the computer science room also had an I2. I resurrected it while I was there, and got working, but then nobody used it. And what the hell?
I know that as of late, they have Martin's rates.
So yeah,
I don't know when they went to those, but one of my buddies just graduated from their engineering.
yeah. I had I was there 2015 to 2020, and so we had to go to an orientation class.
Mm-hmm.
And the dude who's doing the orientation had no clue. They just picked some poor staff at the library to do it. And I'm sitting there correcting everything. I said, no, it didn't quite work like that. Let's talk about how it really works. All right.
Yeah, whatever they're gonna call it.
Okay, now that we have the
Had my
axis assembled, we now
my
put it
job.
on the
One of my
printer.
coworkers' birthday is coming up, and I guess
You're getting
like
close,
one of
Cole.
those weird workplace relations ladies came over and said like, hey, can you like reprint something for him,
Oh, yeah,
and they'll
definitely.
comp me on anything I buy.
Just comp a whole school.
So yeah, they're gonna give me back for a whole school.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, I just got. Oh, look at that. A fresh install fixed everything.
So that's good.
All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna loosen.
Now if I can remember what the stupid GitHub website is.
For the driver.
No, for the bed leveling map.
Oh.
There we go. Loosen that up a little bit.
Restored this after the fire.
2621. Yep. Gonna get a free spool of red film,
Fire
baby.
woodworking mostly over here.
Let's go.
We have a CNC machine mainly for wood.
Yeah, that's the one thing I've learned about like printing things
Oh,
for people is they
you
have like no
sorry
concept of like.
How much plastic it takes,
Sandblast cabinet.
or how much printing essentially costs.
Yeah.
So they just give you money
Yeah.
for what it's like way.
I started to try to use the calculator in the beginning, you know, to like make sure that I covered my bases. You know, this person has that calculator. You put how much you pay for electricity, this and that, whatever, and it didn't matter if I marked it did 100%
Alright,
markup.
we
I
have
charged
one.
$2, and I was like, yeah, no. But then they had at the bottom is how much you charge for your time. So if you put
So
your
let's
time
go ahead
in,
and tighten it back like that.
Yeah, I don't even care about time. I just like flat rate of $5. Anything you want.
oh yeah, mine anything that's you know this size or smaller is $5. You want to do something that's going to take
Well, I mean,
18
if it's like
hours. Yeah.
huge, I mean, yeah, there's gonna be a markup.
Like the have you printed the supportless Deadpool bust?
No, but I have seen that.
Okay, you know it's like this tall.
Yeah.
You mean the one
that's-
that everybody's printed?
Yeah, the one that I'll never.
I asked
print.
him, and he said he never printed it, so
Well, I mean,
I'm
all
never-
the okay, all
either he doesn't count,
I'm never gonna print it because everybody else is already.
or not everyone's.
or the,
fault.
well,
I don't know.
okay, I'm
It's
referring
just-
to the all the YouTubers.
It's just straight to landfill.
Every time you see a YouTube montage of 3D printing, it includes that Deadpool bust.
It's a good looking bust.
I'm not gonna accelerate our climate hell by generating another Deadpool bus.
Well, I like Deadpool. So
I mean, you're gonna keep it. I don't want or need one. So.
oh, well, there's the difference. Yeah.
And,
All
I
right.
finally convinced my friend to get an Ender 3S1.
got some metalworking equipment.
Tell him to drive to Micro Center so you can get it for $100.
No, the S1's like
We're gonna
400.
go with the lathe that
Good God.
I mean, it essentially has all the Prusa-like features, you know, like a
I'd like to.
spring steel sheet.
Where can we
auto
drive the
level.
Micro Center around here?
like-
There's one at St. Louis, and there's one in it just outside of Atlanta.
Yeah,
One in Kansas too.
3 hours or
And the
7
lathe,
hours.
lathe to
Well,
match.
I mean, you asked.
Yeah,
Well, we gotta.
I've driven 800 miles this week. I mean, you know, that's not.
power
that
tool.
far.
That's you. That's not me.
We got a long term. We gotta see
All
how
right,
we
so we
can
mount the crossbar.
open up a micro center in this area.
We're almost done with this build.
I would go broke if they opened a Micro Center. in this
I went
area.
to Kansas to visit my friends, and I went broke at the micro center they had.
Why can't I talk to this damn printer? Why can I not remember? Oh, here it is, down here, way at the bottom. The send. Shit, I don't remember if it's G80 or G81.
Alright.
Sorry, I'm just walking back and forth to check on the laser.
Oh, you're fine.
Your place out.
Somebody's on the USB power brick that has like 5 volts, 3 amps.
Normally, 100% of the time,
Real
yes.
quick, if you
Not with this backpack.
I've got if you want to unplug my phone there, it's fine. You can that's an official Raspberry power supply equipment.
Is it? No. I've got a Raspberry Pi 3, so it's not USB-C. But thank you.
That's a 3, not 4. Okay. Never mind. I just heard USB.
Still running old school. Can't wait to never see USB micro D ever again. I hate it.
Alright. Alright.
Yeah, C's where it's at, but
I think this might be a little bent.
isn't it the whole issue of the C connector is technically larger than the micro connector, so like people who are trying to do stuff as small as possible keep using the micro connector.
Yeah, that's still stupid.
Well, I didn't say it wasn't. Like, explain to me why it is my new.
Power delivery. That's
What the
all
hell?
you need to know. That's reason number one. They don't need to be using. Or let me just switch to C.
Z leveling and forced.
What the hell is that? Sensor didn't trigger.
A lot of fun for those who are into this sort of thing.
Low.
I got angry.
With that,
I ran G80 and it said Z leveling and forced, and then stopped. But it shouldn't.
what?
It said G leveling and forced.
It's in the code. It's like the second half.
So I guess we're starting over.
I'm about to call it right now.
Alright, so this isn't too terrible a bill.
See, why is it doing
work.
this? You see?
I think this air is messing up.
So this took a little, it's going to be close to an hour and a half.
Might be.
And that's because me talking and doing other stuff while this printing
Come on,
is going on. So I would probably say if you're not doing anything but concentrating, this is probably taking about an hour to put together.
See, it keeps freaking out. I think it's freaking out around the magnets. But it did it just fine the first time I did this nonsense.
What's it doing there?
Well, so watch. So it's fine, and it's gonna not be fine in a second because we're gonna get closer to the magnet, I guess. I don't know what's going on.
Alright.
Freaking out. I do it right here, do it all.
I'm not going to put the
Try doing another calibrate.
filament
That's what I did.
on
I
at
just
the
did.
moment.
I just did G80.
I'm going to go ahead
just at least
and
get a
not
map
like
time.
a Z
I'm
level.
going to go ahead and
With the full
put
XYZ
all the wiring.
calibration.
so they give you the diagram and everything.
So that's when I have to do this stupid
Well
piece of paper
marked.
that makes me scream.
So first thing
Yeah, I
we're going
think
to
it's
do
supposed to
is
use a piece of
connect the
paper.
power.
I mean, it's just like the sensor's not picking up. Like it just went all the way down and just said nope. See, and now it's gonna do Z calibration again by itself.
And you check to make sure
This is your
the
project here?
Yeah.
sensor is one.
Yeah, I'm making
Yeah, I mean,
tokens for a
sensor
convention.
This is what it's printing with.
One
She's actually
zip tie
Yeah.
workhorse
thickness away.
Yeah, I already sat there and did that. So yeah,
event for the SCA.
because I had to actually readjust for my
The Society
pin
for Creative
height.
Mechanism.
You got a bad pen. Maybe that's what your problem is all along. Could be.
Do a lot of
Super Panda could be
historical
bad.
studies,
For,
and they do like cooking.
Because it was fine. When I left the class,
For,
all of a sudden it wasn't anymore.
For Belton or
Pretty much anything for like the 16.
What happened?
which
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
hey Brandon, which event? Sam Hain
I
or
think about
Belton?
like Occam's razor.
Sam Hain.
Sam Hain. Where is it this year?
It'd be like the distance
I
away.
freak out,
don't
right?
remember.
Right
I think like Shelby Forest or something.
Okay, it's back there. They used to have it down in Mississippi. I went to one of them there.
Usually the reason it does that is if it's detected too much of a distance. Have you
Yeah,
tried
but I mean,
just
that spot's perfect.
dropping away from the not doing the 7 or whatever it is, 7x7, just do the 5x5.
How do you tell it to stop?
Hey, stop! Oh, it didn't work.
What?
I tried. I tried to help him. I can't help he doesn't have the voice activation
What
set up
command
yet.
is for stopping?
That worked.
No, it didn't.
You just hit the little X.
Well, yeah. That didn't fix it. That just pissed it off.
So,
I didn't say that before. Did you actually bring your car in here? You guys are crap out of it. People work on the cars.
Oh wow, really?
going
I mean,
detector.
You can't store your car here long term.
Yeah.
Bring it in, just
Get it done, dude.
be out of the way.
You have folks who know that type of automotive stuff. Cargo future.
X. This would be the
Nope.
I think this is too small. Something about the chip is
this is the X pin stop.
So for the last three.
Discord.
Discord.
Yeah, that's it. So that's where we all kind of hang out. We put questions out
So
there.
that goes in here.
You should probably get the link before you leave today.
It's on the website though.
Yeah, you go to the website. So it has its own menu item now. I didn't notice that the other day. Because I'm blind. Yeah, if anybody wants to join MidsouthMakers just watching this, go to MidsouthMakers.org.
People are watching.
No.
Danny's only fan members event today.
But I told them, I told LU that we were doing this.
Yeah, so out on the website, this is what the website looks like. So you can go to join us on Discord, and that's got the link.
Alright.
And
And
this is how to join as the membership application.
this is the X right here. This is the X right here.
Pretty straightforward.
So
It's a
that
web
goes
form.
on here. This is the extruder motor right here. And down here we have. Is this the Z motor?
I'm double tasking.
This is the Z motor. And that plugs in here.
Is that the end doing?
Now we have the Z in stock.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, call her back in about 2 months.
I don't think it's powered after work.
We'll get up the multimeter and find out.
Somebody threw away a 65-inch TV, so I just grabbed it and it's in the back of my car now.
You don't know if it works yet.
Nope. Gonna find out.
It's like my mom. My mom was like,
Almost always it's the stupid capacitor.
my
If it's not a
mom's,
cracked screen,
my mom's 65-inch went bad, and she's like, I'm like, well, it's a power supply. It's gonna take me, probably a week to get parts in for it. She's like, I need a TV right now. I'm like, all right. So we went out and bought a new TV, put a new TV in, and she's
So
like, just take this. Take this. So
stop,
I put it on a stand in the garage. I've got a power supply for it.
motor.
Looks like champ. It's been working ever since.
Television.
And we
Yeah.
need the
TV's
we need the Y. We're
power
missing the
supply.
Y stuff.
Yeah.
Usually just power supplies.
Oh, Y
Unless
is there.
plasma TV's gonna
And the
walk
Y
you.
is
Yeah,
up.
this
There's
thing's
only
definitely
wire
an
up
LCD.
LCDs
Belt is
almost
tight.
always power supply.
And let's go ahead and
Unless somebody's
get
cracked the screen.
let's see,
Hoping it's not the case. It is pretty dirty. It might have been rained on, so I'm gonna have to like clean it internally too.
feels like it is fairly.
I'm hoping it'll work.
What do you guys do professionally outside of tinkering?
That is. Oh.
Are you still for the people?
I am with Morgan. Morgan, yes. If you slip and fall, call me.
And
I'll help you
we
leave drive.
insert the.
Not the first injury.
And so, just to let you know, what they have given us,
Stuff.
included we have extra
Size matters.
collars and extra
T-shirt
nozzles.
says that.
And one thing we'll put in right now, which if you have it, you can always print one, but they're so handy.
I can't believe they did that.
They are the large.
Once you have the valve tube inserted all the way,
Say it, I guess.
We literally got married to a lady named
get you one of
Ultima.
these blue.
Ultima?
Yeah, his wife is Ultima.
And it goes right here between the,
It's a little,
My kid's gonna be
make sure it's in all the way. And then you just slide it into the,
I think she was born before the Toyota Ultima was out.
Which one am I doing? XYZ or just the?
Yeah,
And this
probably
one already has one.
I do V every time I move it.
So we have this nice USB with card reader with the with the SD card already in it. So everything.
Yeah, those are all individual. Like I have one on that side.
So XX, YY, sensor, and power. That is all
Yeah,
the
you can pay
hookup.
for a cubby.
That would be pretty useful. To have
And now it's operating
love
screen
stuff in
information.
and out.
So at this time, it looks like we can go ahead and power it on.
That's that half your work time is just. So what are you preparing for? What's your next big, what's your next big project?
Do you have long enough for that story?
It keeps failing the same spot, Cliff.
Back middle?
Yep.
It is actually touching. On this one. It says sensor didn't trigger.
Trigger. Real nozzle?
No, but I mean, it's clean off.
Can you trigger here? See a little trigger.
What's triggering on all the other spots? So
Yeah.
it's the sensor's triggering.
And I mean, the sensor's so close that like I literally can't even put this out right.
And this is the one where you're supposed to have the metal sheet off?
Yeah.
Sure. I think you're supposed to have the metal sheet on, that's why it's not triggering.
Have you done the calibration where it does the wiggle back and forth until it finds all the magnets again? Oh no. Alright, so we are almost done here.
Because it doesn't tell you.
I'm going to take off all this plastic.
Because, oh yeah, so when you're on here, you're only supposed to do the ones that hit the magnet spots. I thought.
That's what they should be.
Yeah, you're supposed to, on that level, sorry, I didn't see that earlier. You're supposed to do it with the build plate. Hey, it'll tell you if you need to pull it. It's like, no. Because the only time you pull the build plate off is that one where it's trying to find the magnets. All other times you're supposed to have the build plate on.
Okay. So I know one thing that didn't come tightened from the factory. So can I?
Yeah, because I do have a very large print quarter.
What's that?
So I do have a large print quarter that I need
So for
to,
those that can't tell,
have this stuff up.
one of the issues we have right now, and you'll see this a lot,
School
this
order.
will happen, is the Y bed is not at all locked in. More than likely, I'm going to be in there and tighten the center down.
50 times 5 is
So
what?
we'll see if I can get there without having to
450,
take
350?
50 times 5 would be 200.
250?
225. 5 times 5 is 25, I think.
Yeah. So 250, 250 keychains.
Hey, if you ever need help printing stuff, I do have a farm that can be employed.
And I've got the maps, I've got the drawings, they approved everything that I've done. I was like, okay, I can squeeze 18 on this little sheet, you know, like here's the print time, here's the thing, and then yes.
We gotta have more than one printer, man. Just saying.
Can you make the space for other
Probably not. We've got about an equilibrium of number of members to how much it costs to run the space.
And actually, I warned you about that in the instructions about the X, Y axis being
If we
wobbly.
ever do get more members.
And so it says we can insert an opening wrench.
The original place we were at, we used to be over by the Kellogg's plant over off of Lamar.
Depot?
And then that was the first makerspace. Then we moved here into the shop next door, and then that area that I took you in, just the classroom spot. We were the shop next door in the classroom spot, not in the lounge of this area, so it was a little bit smaller. And then this place that was in here moved out, and the landlord wanted to sell the shop to the people that were the other end of it. So we moved and we got this half of the building made, which is nice. bigger space. That was also when we started doing member storage to help pay for the expansion. We kept membership fees low. We're probably the lowest cost makerspace in the country. And,
Really access.
may have to raise rates at some point just to keep up with cost. We've been able to keep costs down.
And COVID helped.
COVID helped a ton. We actually brought in a ton of money.
For members.
Well, and we were making face shields, and we had one member who worked for Apple, and all the time he did making face shields, Apple gave us money to match his time that he spent. And so it was a lot of money.
Well, I have to go to Kroger to buy a power brick. Does anybody have any soda recommendations for here?
You need a power
Diet
brick?
Dr. Pepper.
He didn't have a USB power brick.
You want a USB power brick?
Yeah.
Normally, I always have one on
Sorry,
me.
I didn't
Does it
Can
have
ask Uncle Cliff.
does it have like 2 plugs at once?
Yes. What else do you need?
3 amps.
Yes.
World beef.
What else do you need? Now, those are is USB-C okay? I think I have
No.
one that's not USB-C.
The one that's not USB-C.
I think I have one of those too. Hang on. Wait a second.
All right, we have a non-wobbling. So the
that's
wobble
it?
right now is because this desk is not.
What's funny is that, I mean, if I had any backpack but this one, I have exactly what you need.
Yeah, same here. I got all my other stuff in my other backpack.
I take that back. If you don't have it, I have one in my truck. But it only has one USB-A port on it. You need
You're gonna
two.
need to.
All mine are USB-C that I have on there. Hang on, let me double check.
All right.
I have one that's.
So,
Okay, this is just not that
you want to plug it up? So first thing I'm going to do is
All I
I'm
got is
gonna
USB-C.
use it back.
Sorry.
All right,
And I'm
I'll be
going to
back.
peel the LC.
Oh, this one's a really nice. This is one of the gallium nitride
Mm-hmm.
supplies. These ones are
Anchor?
All right.
Yes. Oh no, Rally Power. Oh,
Yeah, I love the GAN ones. They're awesome.
So actually, I think I'm going to put the spool in.
Please work. That's right, because I forgot that when I was doing I think that's the issue. When I was doing G, is that the plate wasn't on.
probably it.
And because
You
I think I
definitely-
remember when we were doing this, the headache. So all of us were doing this stupid thing that I got. This mod, which requires you to like very finely adjust a bunch of Allen screws. Like how many of them are there? No, 9. 10.
No.
Well, because you don't adjust the sound.
So what
Or
I'm
no,
going to do, I'm
or
going to do
3.5,
something a little bit
6,
different right now.
You adjust all of them.
I'm
Well,
going to go
probably
ahead and
have
mount
the
this
bed
on the
up.
side.
Because
So
it'll
this
change
spool will
with
go
hotter and
into
colder.
the,
So like to get a true good level for when you're going to be operating at temp. So then you have to be pulling this bed off at full temp and not singeing your fingers off every time you do it. And you do it like 20 times in a row.
Wow.
Okay, hey, it worked.
It seems like choosing 3 screws would be a lot easier.
So I've never seen this, Cliff.
Or 2.
They put an acupuncture needle inside the.
Use that for cleaning the
Yeah.
knife.
All right,
Yeah, it's-
here we go. Finally,
Normally
got
you
data.
don't have to do the adjustments, but it's just to make it a really flat bed surface. It's kind of nitpicky.
I bet it's really sensitive to being moved around. You move this around.
Yeah, no, I
So
don't
we
really
make it so you can.
only
pick
when I
this
do
off
stuff
and
like
make it
this.
work for the yard.
At home, it just stays in one spot. Yeah, every time you have to re-level everything.
So
See-
on these types, I prefer a
So I
side
just
mounted
Mapped my entire
donut
bed.
roll because
So 0 is perfect. And then it's only off by 0.04. I mean, that's not really.
You'll see what happens when you print a few thousand
Millimeters.
PET G.
Yeah.
0.04.
That's pretty flat.
It's pretty close.
You're gonna see what happens when you print a few thousand PET G cars.
Yeah. You end up with the car permanently.
That's what
etched
a
to the board.
build plate looks like.
You lost the
not
texture.
surface.
Yeah. It's like.
so a lot of us also we have build plates from printing the
I have one.
printing the masks, and we call it the eye of Sauron because the way we were printing them 2 up, it looks like an eye. So yeah, so you can tell who those of us who are printing a lot of these face shields because we have the Eye of Sauron on our.
Wow. Nice. This is not the same website that I was using before.
Maybe do full color multi-material.
Again, we have another issue with the screw not being set. Ah, never mind. They put a hole in here.
Is that the same brand that sells like the Arduino kits?
Elegoo?
Elegoo is mostly their biggest claim to fame are their resin printers.
Resin printers?
Yeah, but they do some FDM, and like I said, they donated this to us, and that's one of the reasons I'm doing the live stream.
Yeah.
Because they want us to do some.
Oh, I forgot we got that. I saw that go through the Discord.
Nobody's there anyway, so we don't know. So I've got. Do you see the film that I brought, Cliff?
Oh, nice.
It's a co-extrusion. It's a copper
Oh,
gold
the two different, the
co-extrusion.
two color? Yeah.
I've gotten into those. I've got that, and I've got a purple and gold co-extrusion. I'd like to get a. I wish I could order custom code. I mean, I know you can print your own co-extrusion, but I'm not all about that. I'm not.
Too much trouble.
All right. So what we're gonna do now is. We use some zip ties and no place indication order.
Bryce, did you see my new fruits and knobs?
Yeah, where you did the
So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to zip tie one and back
Those
this
are
right
awesome.
now. If we need to zip tie on top, we will. I will zip tie this bundle right here just to keep
I cannot find this initial website that I used.
Crucis3D.com.
No, they don't have bed leveler on there. There's a bed level visualizer that someone made, posted online that you can use if you don't have Octaframe.
Any kind of material testing you guys ever done?
Not on purpose.
Gotcha. That's witty.
Yes, we have tested materials.
We tested the tensile strength of Dan's stomach as opposed to plexiglass kickback from a table saw.
Shearing.
That's been tested.
Okay, where's
We tested the tensile strength of Brett's stationary bicycle versus Ben Eishen pedaling on it. Ben won.
Yeah, Ben usually wins.
Any like robotics guys coming here to do projects?
Yeah, we've got one guy who's in the battle bots right now.
Technically two.
True.
I mean, Isaac's actually competing.
And who is?
Isaac.
Isaac
The
is.
13-year-old.
And Rich.
I mean, I've got bots too. I'm just not competing right now, but I've got some ant weight.
We have one member who's got a ring and wants to do a whole thing.
Oh, like locally?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So his is mostly what we call ant weight and beetle weight, which is ant weight is about 150 grams. So the bots are about that big. Beetle is a little bit bigger than that. But he's also got one. A regular sized bot.
150 grams.
Yep.
Yeah, they're tiny.
That's tiny.
Yeah.
That's
Small.
That's like a quarter pound or something. I'm sorry, I hate metric.
A little tiny, yeah. So
Get a 3D printer, you'll love metric.
Huh?
Get a 3D printer, you'll love metric.
Oh, I mean, I understand how efficient it is.
Where does anyone see a pair of diagonal cutters around?
No, well, now here's some.
I tried to find the one that came with.
They're not great, but I have
I just need to cut.
purchased and donated jobs.
No, I know. I just didn't feel like I can get one. I just didn't feel like I have one that came with the printer, and I don't know where.
Is it under it?
I just looked it up. I didn't see it.
Oh,
If you want to look
okay.
and make sure I'm not blind.
Is it under your laptop? I don't know. I mean,
Hello, everybody watching.
Ant Link and Beetle Link. I mean, you're talking something that's like.
They're about that big.
I mean, there's all kinds of weight classes, but he's also building a regular, what you think of as a regular battle bot. He's basically taking, if you've ever seen this little, it's this little turtle toy box, little Tyke's turtle toy box that's about this big around. He's attached it to a robot frame that he's built. It's great. It is awesome.
Really?
Um,
I used to love watching Battle Bots when I was a kid.
Still on, isn't it? Wait.
I don't know what program.
and I will probably, I don't know if it'll be an actual battle bot, but so my wife has a power chair. We got her a new one this year. The old one still mostly works fine. It's just the frame itself and the chair part are all trashed out. So it still runs. And I found I found a project the other day which takes her model chair and it's got the schematics for building a remote controller for it. So I'm not gonna tell her. I'm just gonna remote it. I'm gonna see if I can make it autonomous and just have it run in the room on her one morning.
Hey, Price. If you try to print Prusumet PET G using the Prusumet PLA profiles, it's not great.
Has that been your issue the whole time?
Because I just set up this I hadn't used this
All
as a
right.
slicer.
So
I should,
first thing,
I should show you the post-it note that I have because I had it.
Let's
I
go
had
ahead
it
and
that
plug
night.
the printer
I
in.
ended up doing like 4 hole pulls in a row because I kept forgetting that I was changing my nozzle, and so now there's a new little post-it note right that sits in front of the printer and it says swap filament, swap nozzle, swap sheet. Oh my gosh, dang it! I've done this like 3 times now.
Dude, you're rubbing off on me, man. It's not supposed to happen. We're literally grinding stuff. Why is this grinding?
So I can't find the original bed level that I was using. I thought this was it, but this one just has visualize. It doesn't give me the turns like how big can she be back in Discord because I know I took pictures.
we
of
have
it.
power.
And because it was giving me turn this many steps.
All
so
right,
it's this far out of
so,
whack. This one just
Whenever you're first hooking up one of these printers,
visualize
also,
it. It doesn't
please
give you a
make sure
table.
that it's set for 115 and not 230.
See, there's no table output.
115. There we go.
But I'm on this stage.
I'm not sure how long it took to catch.
So
It takes a little while to catch.
115 into 220 is not horrible. 220 into 115 is bad.
It depends on how much detail you put in.
So this was the
All right, and I heard another beat.
You update it.
There's some other website. No, there's some other website that you put in for just different values. It doesn't give you a visualizer. What website was that? I gotta go back and watch this stupid video again. Unless you remember what the thing is.
My soul adequately.
All right, so what are we gonna do here? What
It'll tell us to do
You guys
first.
posted this on Meetup or something?
It's on Meetup, and also
it's on the
get on our Discord so we can talk about it. So when you go out to the Discord, there's a ton of
I've got
different
you guys
areas.
on Meetup.
We have like each of these different things. So
So
we
we've
talk
got
about it on
the
the
interface
part of
function.
the Discord, but also on the public chat. Once you become a member, you get access to like the members only chat. Maybe some of the 3D printer stuff members can. But go out and get on the Discord because that's the best way to keep up to date on the
You guys do like a Discord class?
It's pretty good stuff. Oh, like a class.
Well, how to navigate.
So now
I've
we're
tried
gonna go
Discord
through the
before,
level.
and I
So
was.
we're
Oh,
going
it's not
to
too
click
bad.
tools,
So I mean, it's basically Makerspace public chat.
and then
When you get in, you'll see
let me go ahead
these
and
are the
switch
different
to
servers. So this is our
close-up.
MidsouthMakers, has our MidsouthMakers one.
Would you suggest me doing this on my desktop instead of my phone?
You do both, but I think you have to do it. I think it likes to start off on your phone. If you want to set up right now, you can.
Well, I have it on my phone.
Okay.
I've only ever used it on my phone.
So if you go to MidsouthMakers on your phone, you can actually join our Discord.
Alright, I will before we just can sign this up. Get all the access tools in here. Do we still have a working label maker or not?
I have a working label maker. I don't know if we have one up here.
I have a working label maker too. I could have swore we had like a P-Touch or something up there somewhere. Or I could be Mandela effect the whole thing too.
I don't remember that, but what do you need a label for?
Well, I just wanted to put it on this little bag here, put it, Elegoo parts or something.
That's just sharp.
That way I can throw it in the drawer in there and.
Okay. Yeah, so you should be able to. Did you go to the MidsouthMakers site?
No, I'm not sure where that is.
Go to the MidsouthMakers site.
Oh, MidsouthMakers.
Alright. I'll keep that there for a minute.
I recently signed up for OpenAI has this slowly this
Okay, so we got this cleaned out.
text to images.
We've been talking about that in Discord.
Okay, yeah. And,
Dolly and
like a
Dolly,
Wombo
yeah,
Dream. Dolly, yeah, Dolly too, yeah. So I think that's. What is another one? It's not Dolly too. It's another one. Discord.
Take this camera.
I literally cannot find this.
No, it's more of a joke.
Institute of Technology.
Go to our website, and at the top navigation bar, there's a Discord link.
Okay. Discord.
That should add you.
Well, unfortunately, we're not going to see too much of the LCD screen because it is very.
What's your Discord name?
That's something great, man.
So I'll know who you are.
My ex set it up. Well, I literally do not know. It's something outrageous. I don't know.
Can you check on the welcome screen? Didn't it like
Yeah,
a welcome,
probably.
like when a person joins, whoever, and it's like, say hello to so and so.
I was wondering where, I didn't remember where they put all that stuff.
I don't
We
even
go
remember.
because
How's it look? The first one?
G.
We don't, that's it. So yeah, so that's it. So in there, the MidsouthMaker public, that's where most people are going to talk about stuff.
Oh, I got this here blowing directly down on it. I was like, why is this bed taking so long to warm up?
Yeah, I don't know how to do this. How do I navigate this? Okay.
Well, yeah, go back to this. So these are all the different channels. So the Makerspace public chat is series 1. So some of
All right, you got.
mentions you, me,
Oh, hey, Cliff.
I said
All
welcome
right,
that,
there
and
you
so
go.
you would respond just down here.
Closer there.
in chat.
Okay, so this is like a public chat.
All right,
Yeah,
unfortunately,
this is
due to
all-
glare,
this chat,
it's like a chat room.
Okay.
And you'll see stuff and people will talk about different things, post links and all that sort of stuff.
And then if you want, you can go over to the side.
So,
So over at the side, you see all
so
the
this
different
is how it
things,
comes when you start off. So I go tool,
flea market, people selling
and then go
stuff,
level,
automotive,
and I
blacksmithing,
just I go to
engineering. Ben is he has he's the engineer.
so it's gonna go
The
to
engineer, what is that?
He's an electrical engineer.
Oh, awesome.
Call him the engineer.
Engineer, got it.
But well, engineering is a definition. So it's good that you asked that. Okay, I think it is out on Wikipedia.
Maverick and art.
I think there is actually a definition for engineering.
No way.
Does it have something to do with Ben Hank?
it's on the wiki.
It's on the Urban Dictionary too. The art of creating, modifying ghetto engineering something effectively, usually with great force, with as little financial outlay as possible. That looks like you made it out of zip ties, duct tape, and some wooden pallets. I'm getting tetanus just looking at it. Does it work? I'm engineering it. How could it not?
So with little financial outlay.
So you're doing it as cheaply as possible.
Okay.
And also at the same time as dangerous as possible.
Well, you take on
Okay,
the
I can already
risk.
see
Yeah,
that
sure.
it is
You're-
very close
you're
to
paying.
that. So
And
I'm
it is
going to
not to
I'm gonna
discount
wheel
the number of
down.
zip ties and duct tape.
Yeah.
I'm
That
gonna
is
take
very
my
important to have zip ties. That's what engineering is all about.
Got it. I've been engineering things pretty regularly.
So this is
Yeah.
just touching.
But yeah, it's you'll just get a sense of us. And, if you have any questions about any of these topic areas, just flat something out there. Or, generally we want, if you're going to talk about 3D printing or airsoft or
Yeah, keep it over.
do it in one of the side
Just
chats.
catching
But,
All right.
one of the guys, Herb
And then
here,
just go
he's an older
22.
guy, but he finds and cuts like mills wood. So like he'll find a log or something, mill it in pieces. Like, hey, I've got these, 7/8 boards.
This one?
Anybody want to buy them? He'll put them out on the flea market. Flea market's kind of neat. People want to get rid of stuff. Sometimes it's neat stuff.
All right. Now we go to
My dad, Herb, had some old planes. This is the best way to kind of get to know us. And also being at the coming to the open house, which is every Friday. So
How well is
it depends. You could have I think last Friday was only 3 people, or we can also have 20 people.
Yeah, last night there was only like 4 of us. This time of year, when school starts, we always have a drop off.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting everybody
Oh.
settled in school, and they're having their drinks. They're getting drunk. Once they've had a week full of kids at school.
How much marketing effort do you guys put into college campuses?
What's less than zero?
You're discouraging it?
So our current vice president. So we don't do a whole lot of marketing. Our current vice president is basically one of the runners of Memphis Technology Foundation.
Who now?
Memphis Technology Foundation. It's a nonprofit organization for helping the tech community, and so there's recognition in the tech community for us because of our association with that.
I'm gonna just have to guess it.
That's sad.
But we don't do a whole lot
Can't
of
find it
marketing.
again.
A lot
I'll
of
wear
it's
one.
But they do have entire power strip.
I had a 3B plus laying around.
Well,
for
you
my
can go to
printer that
Dollar
don't
Tree.
have nail on.
No, I just went to Kroger so I can get a Diet Dr. Pepper for you.
Why don't you go to Five Below? You should go to Five Below then.
Oh, well.
I will.
Well, there's Diet Dr. Pepper in there.
Five Below.
Huh?
Because he had said he had to go to Kroger to get his drink. So Five Below to get a different type of power source.
All right.
No, I got this at Kroger too.
0.5.
Kroger has stuff like that.
Hey, look, you never have too many of those.
Yeah, that's true. Like it's gonna go straight into like
I got the high point.
the one socket
0.02.
in my house that I designated is gonna get one of these next.
Is it?
All right, so it's a
Pretty darn
little
close.
There's
loose.
never enough
I'm gonna go back to
distribution
21.
variance.
So now the back
Yep.
right corner it's saying is 0.06 low though. Now that I've adjusted the front.
Who has the right hand side? I mean, yeah, the right hand
So
side.
what's gonna be funny is I'm gonna have my bed leveled
Who
before
has the
you.
right hand side drive Jeep?
Oh, that's me.
For all those who can't see what I'm
Is there
gesturing.
Australian or
No, I used to have a
mail truck?
mail company.
So basically, once you've adjusted everything, every other corners will have changed the position slightly. So
Which is
you
why
only
we
go
use
back through
automotive
2 or 3 times.
Because some of my vehicles I converted to right-hand drive. They were factory left-hand drive. Converted with a kit. Some of them were factory right-hand drive. It would be way too expensive to make them left-hand drive, but like I have transmission problem with one, engine problem with another. So I'm trying to get this ready to final high. I've been out of business for a while.
Yeah, if you want to get rid of something like that, flea market is a good place for that. Crazy people around here like Ben for one. Ben's got a 2-point lift at his house now.
Oh, nice.
I'm very jealous of. I need a barn with a 2-point lift for my own. I have teenagers with cars and everything. I have like a fleet of vehicles.
When you say 2-point, you mean like a one
Two post lift.
Yeah, for sure.
Instead of a 4-post where you have a whole platform that goes up.
Oh, but it has like some type of system for widening the
arms.
lift points. The arms,
Two
yeah,
posts,
yeah.
2 posts that are kind of in the middle,
Yeah.
and then you swing out.
All right.
It's a bit of a balance, more of a balancing act.
So what I'm going to do
A
now
4-post has a platform that you
is
drive on
I'm
top
going
of.
to
It
take
has like the rails.
next thing we'll
Drive
do
the wheels into them.
is go back.
The 2-point is like there's a single post and it has the arms that swing out like this,
Mm-hmm. That's what
and it's generally like right on the inside of
I'm
the wheel.
going to
This.
Somewhere in between.
Yeah.
preheat.
Yeah, I'm looking at a 2-post. My garage is not, the ceiling's not high enough. Like here would be nice.
There's ways to fix that.
Ah,
I'm going to
there
go
are.
to low.
Very expensive. Roof stretchers are pricey.
Alright, so it assumes, load assumes POA. So,
Did I would
I'm
have
an idiot.
one. Hey, at least I have AC in my garage now, which makes me happy.
Got
I
worse.
work from home, so I work out in my garage all day.
Nah,
so I'm going to put
I
this a
know.
little bit.
we went 2 months without air conditioning. Just got it fixed 2 weeks ago. Every company we had come out quote was between like 12 and 14,000. They want to replace the whole.
Oh, I forgot to put, this is a tri-extrusion. This is blue,
I got a guy.
this is blue, copper, and gold.
I got a guy, he's not, there's nothing he does that's $12,000.
Well, I mean, so in the
It's
end,
like commercial.
I said, I've had thermodynamics. There's no way in hell that there's something about this system I can't figure out. So I went, taught myself about 2 weeks, took the EPA test, got a certificate, bought my Freon, pressure test, found the leak, patched it, but shit, you
Nice. That's what, for my garage, I wanted a mini split, and I talked to a number of companies in town. Even my guy, he's like, I don't do mini splits. It's like, I'll put just a traditional, split system in there. I'm like, I want a mini split. Yeah, they're cool. And I
What's
put
the
it
voltage
in.
on it?
It's a 220. But I put it in. It's like, I should have done that a zillion years ago.
Yeah,
It is so, it had, because it's, it's an inverter, the compressor. So instead of like, a normal compressor, which cuts on, compresses, and then cuts off, it
It's
ramps
stages.
up.
Ah,
It's
like
very-
variable. Yeah,
And
nice.
so it's really super quiet, doesn't make hardly any noise. And my garage, it just gets, I have to wear like hoodies sometimes during the day, because it gets like, it's not that it's cold, I keep it at 68, but it's the humidity. It gets the humidity around 39%, 35, 39%, and that's cold.
Yeah.
68 and 35% humidity,
The
it's chill.
sensation on the body is pretty
Chill.
impactful. Yeah.
As opposed to like 60% humidity, which is kind of warm. But if you get down in that like 30s in the humidity,
It's chilly. For
Or
sure. That's
as
a
I
lot of
call it-
evaporation that's happening.
as I call it, the way I like to be. So I'm kind of spoiled now because I work there all the time. It's like, I go into the main part of the house, which has just a traditional system. It's like, it's humid in here.
I
do y'all live like this? I'm going back.
I'm going back to the garage.
I pretty much live in the garage now. But mini split, and it was only like $1,500.
Yep.
So sure. It's a 2-ton,
What's the refrigerator?
410.
That's awesome.
And you don't, so it comes pre-charged for up to 25 feet.
Okay.
So I did go. In fact, I took all my AC tools. Ben did his garage and left. I borrowed my tools, but I pumped it with nitrogen, checked for leaks, then pulled the vacuum, and then opened. All you gotta do is open up the things, and it plugs
Plugs it in there. That's awesome.
And because the inside unit, it's got a cable, so it gets powered from the outside. So you just run power to the outside. It has 2 hoses, and most of the systems are set up with flare setting, so you don't even have to sweat the copper or anything. You just connect the flare fitting.
Oh, you know, no braiding.
No braiding, and you just I bought the other specialty component, a torque wrench for flare nut fittings, because I wanted to make sure it was right.
Yeah, for sure.
They have a tightening sequence you're supposed to use on it.
Yeah. That's
I've
awesome.
been running for a year, and that's great.
That's awesome.
Supposedly they last about
Okay,
10
so
years
now what we're
longer.
gonna do is we're gonna see if
Yeah.
they got G code on.
You know what I'm
the,
really interested in? Have you ever seen these cassette registers they have for the mini splits?
Yeah.
Those are
They go in the
awesome.
ceiling?
Yeah, it's like they're so much less invasive. Because I wanted to change the whole house after.
I do too.
Like,
I do too. I mean, if I have to replace the whole system again, I'm just going to go main.
ducts for like, our attic space is huge, but I can't use it because the duct work is all over the place. I could double the square footage of the house.
So my garage, I keep it 68 degrees all the time. Like, it costs about $30
Just trying to get a level
That's my house.
You can see a thumbnail of
My garage, which is a decent sized garage, and
found
terrible
Well, I'm
insulation,
just gonna print
the whole thing.
Does it have a SEER and ER rating on
I
it?
do have
At
plans.
21 Sears.
Oh, that's hella good.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
gotta.
for sure. I think
I gotta do the same thing for this, and I'm
And
not
in the
looking
wintertime, I
forward
use
to
it,
it.
it's heat pump, so
And then I can't find the program that I was
it'll
using
heat
after
down
this.
to
This is just the
I
visualize,
think
which I
outdoor
don't
temperature
care
of negative
visualize.
15 or something
The-
like that.
At some point, I would
It'll
just
still
shave your
come
bed.
Oh, negative
That's
degree
essentially
outside.
what I'm doing.
Oh, okay.
Because it's on,
with
the mod that we did,
Extra efficient ones now.
you put the 9 posts,
Now,
you use the
when
nylon
it gets
washer,
below
so
freezing
the
outside,
bed
it'll
is
cycle,
screwed
so
to the bolt.
Yeah.
So then
Just
using
lay
the
on it,
bolt,
it's like
you're
defrost
only
when-
changing the
it has to
height from
defrost
the
the outdoor
bed
unit when
to
it
the
freezes
slab.
up.
So then tell me how
Yeah,
long
really
those
cold
are
when it
reset.
freezes
Go
outside.
ahead and
But
So
It
you
just
can
doesn't
essentially
defrost like
what type of heat? What type of
raise
heat
and
you get
lower
inside?
individual corners.
Just more, I mean, 70 degrees.
Yeah, that's all you
You
need.
know, pull these.
I thought,
But there
I
was
thought
a
it would be
table that
like
we were putting it in.
not as good a
and
heat,
it would
you
give
know,
us,
like wouldn't
set up
feel
like this.
It's nice and toasty.
Yeah.
I love
It would give you,
And you're never
you
gonna
know,
have to deal with
okay, you need to
15
turn
right
it.
here. I mean,
not
maybe
half of an
it
inch or, you know, an eighth of a millimeter, or you can turn
Make it
it.
50
Now
yeah.
my biggest range is a 0.04 to 0.06.
it. Again, I should have done it.
Still
But
way
now I want it
Top
because
right
that's the
corner
most comfortable
still
room in my house.
problem.
So I want that. Because I can, like, if I'm
And
out
then
there,
the back
and
left
it is kind of
just
humid.
slightly
I
lower.
can put it. I can set it to dry mode, and it just dries the air out. Why can't I do this?
Is that
it's not
you?
even
Is your
refrigerating or
printer?
heating. It's just.
Is your printer just moved?
Well, I mean,
No.
it did. Well, no,
That's-
What it is? It's
should
just
be him.
it's refrigerated. So
Oh,
And I went like
I'm
this.
just getting on
But it's
No,
running-
I
I think
couldn't
it
tell.
kicks the fan
I
lower
I
when
felt
it's
movement
doing
in the table, but I
lower
didn't see
contact
mine
time.
moving, so I
Yeah.
just started to
What
print.
is the
That should still
that
be
is so
his.
interesting. Where does it leak your? Because it's a wall mount unit. Where does it put that? The water.
So it has 2 refrigerant lines, a drain line,
Problem with your
and
printer,
electrical
maybe,
cord
or?
to come out.
Oh,
Now,
you're
it's
just
kind
getting
of
it back
like
level
a
again.
Closed duct. They sell like things that you can plastic thing that goes around it, so it's all covered. You don't see it. Then down the bottom it drains. You have to give it a little bit of slope.
Yeah, for sure. Outside though.
Just continually slamming G80, G81
Just have to. I
commands.
drilled a 3.5-inch hole into the wall, and everything
Alright,
just
the
comes through
bed,
that. On the
heat,
inside, it just goes in because it's powered and everything outside.
Like a
goes
half
out.
ton unit.
And
What's a 2-ton?
we're waiting for the hot end to come up to 200.
This would be a pretty big garage.
Well, it's a decent. It's a regular 2-car garage size, but I've got up to 10 3D printers and filament dryer, and so I wanted to make sure when I did the Schedule J like calculations
Yeah.
that I had enough to make sure it was printed. I fretted for I can't tell you how many days because I'm right at the calculation difference between 1.5 tons and 2 tons. So I'm like,
Yeah.
you don't want to over, but with mini splits, it doesn't matter because it's variable.
Exactly.
And once I got it, I'm like, and I ran it, I'm like, that was a dumb thing to worry about.
Well, no, it's good practice. Good mental.
It is, and I've done it for my house too in the past. I put in a system one time, a full system replacement once in my house. I'll never ever do that again. But because mine's up in my attic, and my attic you can't stand up all the way in the attic, and it's not floored, and it's a nightmare. It's not fun. But glass I had it replaced not too long ago. I've got a guy who did it about $3,500 for the whole system. And, it's well worth it because it's a nightmare thing. But yeah, but if I had to do it over again, and I have a big great room kitchen that are separated by a partial wall that have really high ceilings, not a lot of insulation in the top. And it just gets warm in the summer and cold in the winter. I'm thinking about putting a mini split, doing a 2 ton in there, just to supplement. They run all the time.
How many feet line said you had?
0.1.
I was pretty close.
How am I tightening it? It's getting
It came
worse.
with a 25-foot length, I think, and I cut off. Probably used half of it, so it was maybe 14 feet. Yeah, it's just on the other side. It's inside the unit. It's just on the other side of the wall. Yeah.
It's a
So
smaller
if your line
than I
sit
thought it was.
inside the wall and came up.
It just goes straight to the wall on the outside, down the outside.
Foam. Foam.
Yeah, it comes with foam around because both, like on regular line, you have your high pressure side is hot, and so you don't have to put foam around it. This, because it's a heat pump, it has to have foam around it.
Oh, it's right reversible. I didn't think about that.
Sometimes both of them are cold.
Yeah,
Sometimes both of them are hot.
for sure. Because of the season.
Yeah.
That's
Weird.
crazy. Yeah.
But the outside unit is super quiet. I wasn't prepared for that. It sits next to my traditional unit, and it's like silent. It's like you just hear the fan going, and the fan's variable too, so it's not very loud.
Matching.
It's super quiet. I wasn't prepared for how little noise it spit out.
So is there a type? So you have the compressor and the condenser outside. Is there a type of switch in or is the compressor changing its direction? How's that?
Yeah, it's got the reversing valve. I think is in the compressor side. It may have something in the inside unit too. It manages all that.
Yeah.
All that dark magic.
Yeah.
They're super easy to put in.
I guess it. Like, because one I've seen, and you could do this yourself because it's already pre-charged. You're not handling refrigerant. That's this.
I have to make 200 of those motherfuckers. At the rate I'm going, I'm only making 12 an hour.
Well, I get to believe something then.
Huh?
I get to believe something.
First,
First bleep of the day.
Well, it just takes. Well, it's because it's so thick. I have to cut through it. So I have to go like 8 passes to cut through.
Could do it by hand.
So who's the coordinator this year? Who's the I can't remember what they call the coordinator.
Yeah.
The one who the one who you're doing this for. What's her?
Oh, it's Amy, my girlfriend.
Oh, because I told you they ruined my wife and her friend ruined my pasta maker making tokens for.
It's getting worse.
Really?
So yes, they decided to make tokens out of clay for Beltane
Yeah.
a few years ago, and they took my pasta maker.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. You told me about that. Oh, that sucks.
What if you only printed your detail geometry within the coin, did 1 or 2 passes in the circumference, and then used a punch?
I do not have a punch that size,
That's a big
and I
one.
have done it with an X-Acto knife, and it does not look nearly as good as the print did.
Yeah.
I tried.
Turning it to the right. clockwise.
Makes it go lower.
Yeah. And turning it to the left. Makes
You
it
can
go higher.
shed some light on that for everybody.
Yet I keep doing it, and I'm getting the opposite result.
So that's weird.
My bed's now 0.15 out of whack.
Weird. Go a little more, see what happens. And you're only modifying that one point, right?
This corner and this corner.
I would just touch one corner.
But you would think,
You would think, but just touch one corner.
if anything, moving the one that's opposite would be helping it, not hurting it.
Negative Z.
Alright, this corner's high.
Right, tight. Okay.
I'm going to look into that.
He said it's 1,500 for yours or
It's
two
like
times.
15. Ben just bought one. It depends on the efficiency level. The lower efficiency ones like that, like some 1918 series that are less expensive. I think he just got one through like Home Depot for like 1,200. Depends on the time that you get to.
And
We both ordered the brand Pioneer.
oh, nice.
Sell them out of it's not Pioneer.
Oh, not
Audio.
Legacy Pioneer. Okay, okay.
It's a Pioneer refrigeration or whatever, but they're based out of Florida.
I trust anything coming out of Florida with regards to refrigeration.
That's true. I think they're all Chinese made units, but they do good. They have really good support. A lot of people buy the Pioneer.
There's one Heil. Have you heard of Heil? I don't think they make mini splits, but that's a brand we used to see a lot down in Florida. I think actually it's a subsidiary of Carrier. They're like, oh my god, I've never felt people like that in my life.
Come over my garage sometime. I was again. I played around with the settings, but I never realized how much that humidity really made such a difference. It's huge.
It's that what's called wet bulb temperature.
Yeah.
Because it really, you know, what they say, like it's kind of like wind chill. It's wind chill, right? And how I experience it at my skin surface.
Or it's like I've been to Vegas before, and it's like 110, and like you're. I've been at a conference and have like a badge on, and like it's wet under the badge. Everywhere else is like super dry.
Yeah,
Even worse.
Are you sure?
Well,
Oops,
I'm gonna
sorry.
You can literally like look back through the history and see. I mean, should I just go the other direction and just say?
Yes, go the other direction. Say forget it. Oh, sorry. Not in the computer. I just can't. Well, yeah. Sometimes you have to do. Sometimes you have to do what makes sense, not what's right. Why that would? That's not saying it's too. I'm just not used to that visualizer.
I don't like this visualizer. I wish I had the tables like I had before. I cannot find the tables for not Octaframe. I cannot find the data table. And now I'm worried that I'm making these adjustments and it's going to get close enough to my nozzle, the nozzle's going to drag.
Yeah, finally I got the right settings on my slicer.
All I'm doing over here is screwing up my bed worse where I'm not going to be able to print anything.
So these little gravity feed spool holders solve a problem when you're doing multi-material. It feeds filament through, but then when it's done, it has to back it back out. So to take up the slack, as you're pulling, those things go up the slide, but then when you push it back, it rolls it back on your spool. So that's why they're in the gravity.
Wait. You mean to tell me? But that's passive though, right?
Right. Works great. It uses gravity.
Okay, so wait. It pushes it.
So right now it's feeding that black filament. You see
That's right. It's pulling it in. Slow.
So it's pulling it, but as it pulls this way, it rolls up the hill. So,
it stops pulling,
So-
and it gives it slack, and it's going to roll back up.
so when it goes to switch to the next color, it's going to retract back. You've got all the slack to deal with.
Yeah.
It auto rolls the slack back.
And then when you need it again, it'll roll it back up.
There we go.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
It just does a little clunk as it goes because
Yeah.
see, as it gets to the end of the track, it clunks.
It just clumps because this can't go back any further.
the USB
So how
cable I
this from here to here represents how much
so I
backtrack?
couldn't detect my printer.
About the backtrack you need.
Oh.
About the length of that.
Oh, so it works
Yeah,
out.
they're designed that way.
Okay, nice.
Like it did power, but no data. So
But you've got it. You have to when it backs off, it backs off this distance here.
Oh, okay.
So it pulls back into this head, and then this you'll see move to another position.
Well, I imagine that's also contingent upon your radius, how much of this is still remaining, right?
Right. It is a little bit variable, but it's designed around the system.
Okay, but overall, it'll probably be
You turned it the other way, and it got worse. I think something's wrong, man. Your printer's cursed.
Alright.
Can I try it?
Shane,
Mhm.
I actually have time to play Walker.
Yeah, no plans. I'm just laser etching flesh.
We're
All
gonna
I'm
do
doing.
it. We're gonna do this pro.
I mentioned that. I said,
We're gonna do this pro
flash.
method price.
I said I mentioned that. So you're
Bring out the
burning
big
flash
dogs.
in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
hey, I got Octoprint working.
You can turn it off and back on again.
So it's this corner.
I never got your name actually.
Aaron, I'm sorry, I'm
Aaron.
forward.
Front right and
My name's
back right.
Mweza, but you can call me M.
What's that mean? MWA.
NWEZA. Yeah.
Wait,
But you can call me M if you want. This is Octoprint. So right now, my computer is. I didn't want to use
And
the
then are you running it-
MidsouthMakers
right,
Wi-Fi,
so
so
you're
I brought
running
this
it-
little
so here
Wi-Fi router
you're
so I
doing
can
a-
just connect directly
What
to
caliber are you
this,
running?
or connect everything essentially to this, and not have to worry about IP address configuration for a network I don't own.
And then G84
But everything is wirelessly connected
And
to
have you
this.
cleared mesh? Do you have
And this
cleared mesh?
computer, this Raspberry Pi, is plugged directly into this.
Because it's doing the mesh.
So now I can use
G80
this
is trying to
computer
run the mesh
control this computer, control this microcontroller.
got it.
And
So
then
you're just
this little
manually-
area,
instead of going
I can
manually,
upload
hey,
files and
that
start prints and everything. And then this area is just a simple little temperature monitor.
Okay.
And then you can set temperatures here. I got it heating up to 60 over here, and then 50 over here, just to make sure the heaters work.
Make sure this is warm to the touch, right?
Yeah, pretty much. So I'm going to attempt.
So you're doing a. You said you're doing a G30.
G80
G80.
I haven't used this thing in several weeks.
Runs the
Let's do,
map.
just to make sure.
Yeah, maybe I should do that.
It's really convenient because like, you don't have to like physically be at your printer anymore. If you get it set up the way you want it to. Like,
But
I-
it's
G28.
But
the
you're
G28
communicating
is
both
still
ways,
level.
right? You're reading temperature data
Yeah.
from your billboard.
and then I can
Alright.
send files to this, which then directly controls the printer.
Is
I'll let him finish.
this
This-
range limited?
I mean, yeah, it's just a tiny little Wi-Fi network.
We
So
all have to
it's
get a little
like-
bit longer, then we're going to stop.
I wish this video
Look at
wasn't so long.
But
Because I
this
know
is
you
not
need
necessary if
to
you're at your house because you have
where
your
to
own
go
Wi-Fi
to the
network.
other page.
I just again, I didn't want to bother finding out
Or
what
unless
IP
maybe I'm wrong.
this thing
maybe
got
this was a
assigned
post.
on somebody else's network because I don't have access to it, so why not just bring my own network? Yeah. But, it is still having the problem it had before, where like.
Are you a network guy?
No.
Okay.
Which is specifically why I brought this.
You're having a problem with your Raspberry Pi?
Not the Raspberry Pi. This thing. Is
Okay.
The
So you just cleared it and did it?
I guess so, yeah. So let's do a
It's
G80.
not
I did a little
using
bit of
that.
adjustment, but I want to see.
So
What's the
G81
heating up
pulls,
to?
but now it's
Like
negative
55,
45,
and then it gets
55.
like
It's
horrendously
way
slow.
off. 1.6.
It's not last year when
So it's
I'm
way
doing
low.
it. There's too much.
I can't print
The way it should be,
get
because
past
I turned it a
55.
bunch of way low. So let me bump it up.
Is that a 12 volt power supply or 24 volt?
24. Enders are all 24.
Must have
It
maybe
literally
shot.
can't even visualize the back.
I don't know what it is.
Okay, let's see. I am like 2 millimeters from cutting one of those magnets, and I didn't. That's how good I am, boys.
That's clean living and skill right there.
Huh?
All right, let's do it. Do it again.
Yeah, I use the magnets to hold the leather flat.
Oh yeah.
And so I like framed all of my
Yeah,
stuff
we got a
just
bunch of- we
perfectly
got a bunch
to where
of-
I'm this far off. It's like
G80 or
touching.
We got a bunch of repurposed hard drive magnets and
Yeah. See, I was wondering because the leather curves. I was like, how do you do that?
the power of magnets.
Yeah, for sure.
How do they work?
They never know.
We may never know. That is 100% true.
Jay's a furry. That's all I need to
We
know.
still don't know how magnets work.
So
Theories.
That was what?
I need to use up as much of my leather as I can. I don't want to
I
take all the
compete.
Scentsy.
Well, it was Stranger Things episode 3.
Oh.
Is your layout,
Joyce.
is your layout easier with
I don't
programming
know.
using 2 of them or
I'll never forget being in physics and asking, well, how does gravity work? We don't know.
Song came out before Stranger
AutoCAD
Things.
first. Okay. And then
Season
I go
4 is
into
good.
Lightburn, and I
We don't know how we don't know how
I
gravity
never
works.
seen 1,
We
2,
don't
or
know.
3, so
Oh, you might want to watch that first.
not my
You
bag.
put everything on different layers so you can adjust the speed and power.
Do you not like entertainment?
And then I just make an array in Lightburn.
I don't
Array
like the
based
suspense horror. I'm just not.
also
It's not really a horror.
Okay, that's better. Let's go.
Back right.
No. So yeah,
I'm
I
not
just-
worried about
I
back
just
right now.
Start with one. I array it how I
I've
want.
seen back to the last
Right now, I'm
part,
only
that's
doing
enough
rows
for
of
me.
2, and then I just let Lightburn optimize the best path. But depending on what I'm doing, sometimes I'll just do it all at once. But I just don't want to risk being here for like 8 hours and still doing cuts.
You should optimize for the different layers. So you have one different depth for different line work.
So each and every item that you put on there, you can have as a different layer. I can actually show you.
You doing G81s?
And then you can adjust the speed and the power output of the laser.
Oh, I'm doing G80.
G80, yeah, is whole width, and then G81 is radius.
Seems to be reacting in the right way. I don't know about that visualizer. Maybe the visualizer's goofy, but the numbers.
I mean,
right
even the
there.
numbers when they were.
I haven't seen anything that didn't obey what I just did.
Perfection is overrated and not necessary.
It went perfect, getting in the way of good enough.
If perfect were an option in IT, I wouldn't have a job.
It's amazing how much better this prints with PET-G temperatures as opposed to PLA.
Well, that's what you get for using through cement instead of
Cement.
recycled PET.
Yeah, I could have done it for
I want to get a bottle. I want to get a bottle splitter from Nathan.
Why?
Okay.
How is it?
Bottom right hand corner is now 0.016.
That's better.
So it is, except for the center of the bed, it's saying it's 0.13.
Higher speed, you have to reduce
Oh.
Well, if you go to
But
higher speed,
my main
you usually
test
wanna
was,
increase your power.
are those in line?
On any given spot.
Or is changing this in line with
What
that?
you can do if you don't want to risk like scarring, which I don't care because I want it to look kind of scarred. And I have antique
So now,
leather
so
dyes that I use
it's
to make it
comparing
look
to the
like
middle of the
antique
bed, so it
leather,
needs
and
to come down
I put
another
neat oil over it,
1
so
point
it's
something millimeter, right, or whatever that is. Okay. we can do
Front
that.
right is.
But if you want to go fast, you can bump up the speed, and you can keep the power really high and just
That's
do
bottled
multiple
out.
passes, and you'll get the same cuts, but without as much scarring because your retention time is really
I don't know. It stopped turning.
So
Yeah.
you're just making the thing
It probably was.
instead of.
Bring the thunder.
And I've learned a lot depending on the ounce, which is the thickness of the leather, and what type of skin. 'Cause this is bench tan cowhide, but I've got, for instance, I got this stuff on sale. This was nice.
Oh, that's like ramen.
I'm
Like
going to get some
this.
more detail on the
It's like
before we
pressed
stop it.
cowhide. It'd be like gator skin, so it's fake, but it's cheap, and it makes nice bags. But you spend like a tenth of the price as if you had real gator skin. It's easier to work with.
stitch work too? Like stitch
Yeah, I hand sew. I saddle stitch stuff, and I get a stitching frame. Got goat skin.
I don't have the right.
I have them shoes. I've done purses,
I have the right
wallets.
clean out.
I do a lot of leather beer cozies.
Oh, the amount of birds between colors.
Yeah, this slicer just as
Awesome. I made.
have to do
That's
it
what our
so-
country needs. People that can work.
Well, I mean, it would be nice for people to have skill sets like this, but you'll never outperform the costs of big companies. So, like, people just need to understand
Think I went the right
if you
way?
want it done right and you want it done.
I may have went the wrong way. Oh yeah, because I got tighter. I went the wrong way. That's
No,
my
you were
bad.
going tighter. You were trying to get it.
Then
Yeah,
buying
you were
it.
trying to
went
get it lower. It was
But
too
the
hot.
quality is much better, obviously.
Oh yeah,
I think
tighter
you just went
is.
too far.
It's worth it. In the
Did I go
customization.
too far?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, I do custom work for people.
You see?
occasionally
Look,
when I have
it
time.
doesn't. It's not making any sense.
But my main job keeps me so busy.
Because the
that I
last
really
digit here
don't do
is
a lot of side
negative
work, and it's something that I'm enjoying.
0.356, and the last
I
digit
made
here was
process
negative
mechanical
0.016.
Well, I cranked it down because you said it was off.
Now it's saying it's even higher than it was, but these numbers don't.
Well, you know, you gotta. The other thing to consider, if you're gonna do a lot, especially if you're gonna do this, you may want to measure from the center. So it's too far down now.
Industrial.
I don't know. Well, it's still saying it's way too high.
Industrial engineering is actually its own type of
It's
thing.
saying it got
That's
even
just-
further, but the numbers changed, but the slider did. I don't.
Industrial
It's
engineering
not.
is more about optimizing for what already is there.
I should have. I wish I'd have known. I would have brought that Raspberry Pi. So much. It's so much easier when you can see that.
And the
Yeah, that's
visualizer
actually
used to
the
be on
own
here.
discipline of
Like
engineering.
they used to have the spot for it where you put it in. It gives you
Yeah.
the same. You know, it gives you the same like turn it this
This
many
is
number
the
of
new
turns,
space
clockwise or
that I'm
counterclockwise,
deploying
because it gave you relative to zero in the middle. Now I don't have any kind of relativity
Oh
to
yeah,
zero.
cool.
But
I think that may be part of the problem.
It's just giving me exact numbers,
Yeah.
which
But I've got this little toy project.
I would start
Wind
like right now. I would do 5
Hydraulic.
points right now
hydraulic transfer.
till you get it where it's not wildly off, and
When I
then go
was
to
in
7.
school, and a bit afterwards, actually, I'm part of that company now. The owner got,
If you're only
I did
adjusting,
unpaid
you're only
research
adjusting
for
3 points across. So it's really not a
floating
good
modular
reason to
power
do
plants
7.
designed to be a fleet in Mississippi
I
River.
changed it to 5.
Floating
Try to change it to 5. Let's try it
power
again.
plants.
I'm gonna hunt for that visualizer.
Mississippi Refused current through the Mississippi River.
Yeah, and we designed custom channels with paddle wheels, all with modular equipment.
Yeah.
So it was easy to construct, replace parts, do maintenance.
So it just goes 3 by 3 by 5?
Tethered to the bottom of the Mississippi.
Was that?
And
Goes
then
3 by 3 by 5?
Once, and you can just go between and work on it. But it didn't really
Uh,
get as much.
So you change it to
Oh,
just
no, no,
3
I
by
would
3
do-
points instead of 7 by 7, right?
or I think there's a 5 by 5. Isn't
I
there?
don't know.
So we're talking about cookies.
Are you channeling to increase velocity?
No,
Yeah.
up in the mesh.
So you sure-
Oh yeah, I go 3 by 3.
Velocity and also
Yeah, and I would only go
to
3 on the
clear any
Z-frame.
debris of the earth.
We're talking about
What?
we were talking about cookies today.
Mm-hmm.
That's my sister's bakery.
Okay, cool.
That's cool.
But yeah,
Unfortunately, she lives in
but yeah,
Seattle,
we got
so
shot down a number of times, even though we had. pretty good
otherwise
data.
I'd be all over
We
that.
had
Say,
channels that
yeah, I'm
restricted
coming
the
by.
velocity of the Mississippi, everything was
Make an
modular.
extra order.
The power lines could be run pretty
I really need to
easily.
move to Seattle.
Everything
That's the
from
Lope
home or
Space.
whatever, you
Lope
could literally
Space
untether
is
it.
the site that you're on.
Yeah.
If you've never had
That's
wire
the one
traffic
that-
And that
issues
just
or
has the
whatever, you
visualizer.
can't tether them, move them.
It doesn't have
They
the.
were only about like 12 feet across.
And there was a
for
way
each
to do
one,
it, and
10 to 12 feet
one of
across,
the
depending
people
on
said it in
which
theirs,
society
or the
you use.
Reddit post that I did it from said it. You know, I don't remember if I found it
How
from.
tall are they?
From the
Wow,
From
that
the bottom
took
of
significantly
the
less time.
pontoons to
Yeah, it takes a lot
the top
less
of the
time, too.
wheel.
I would do that
It's
till you
about
get it
6
dialed
foot.
in.
Okay. So you're taking a big width and constricting it to a smaller width.
The channel isn't the full height. The
Okay,
channel
here's
was
a good
only
ground.
Yeah,
4
okay.
feet across.
Felt
It was like 3 feet across in the channel, and then constricted down to like 1 foot across the wheel itself.
Wow, nice. Oh,
Sorry.
heavy ball.
Now, did you loosen it or tighten it?
I don't remember.
I think you loosened it, right?
Maybe.
Well, they got better. So either this website's borked and it's been backwards the entire time.
Could be.
Why?
An open house for 3D printer workshop. So I don't really think there'd be much for you to do here, but I figured gonna stay till 6 or 7.
Hope to at least get back to close, because I have a wedding to go to tonight.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah. Nice to meet you. Cliff.
I'm Danny. I'm Critter on.
Danny?
Yeah, I'm Critter on Discord.
Critter. Okay, I just saw you.
Yeah.
Okay. Critter, what's your name again?
Bryce.
Bryce, nice to meet you, Bryce. And Moesa.
Imway.
Moesa.
This site, is this the site you're talking about? That tells you.
Nice to meet all of you.
Nice to meet you.
Me too. See you guys again soon.
IO/G81_relative.
What did I just say? PC boy?
Yeah, PCBOY.github.io
The price has just gotten ridiculous.
/G81_relative.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you. Well, okay, this is the readme. I think I was already here. Where's the?
G81 relative is the actual.
Okay, it's going a quarter of the way through.
Oh.
I'm going to go ahead and call
This
it.
took me to
It's looking pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and stop.
PCBoy.github.
.io/G81 relative. Yeah. Let me put it in the. I'll put it in the.
Alright, let's take a look at what we got.
Yeah.
Forward slash it was G81_relative.
Alright, sorry, what's up?
Oh, trying to get your name again.
I'm Brandon.
Brandon, nice to meet you.
No,
Otherwise known as the leather guy.
The leather guy.
Something.
Yeah, I was wondering.
What's your name again?
Aaron. I can walk you through working with leather.
Yeah.
Candy customer.
We got a two side and a cookie side.
I think that's the top nine.
And it
Yep,
pops
leather.
right off.
Wood, occasionally metal. I occasionally do welding.
Oh,
And
I see the
I
arrow.
want to see Will's leather.
Real well.
Weld leather?
no, you don't. You
I
wouldn't be
actually,
here.
I actually kind of almost did that once. I told you about
Alright,
that,
there
right?
you go.
When we ripped that transformer out of that microwave, and then I sprayed it down with salt water and put electrodes in each end.
Do
That
that.
passed, yeah, but I did it through this, not just the wood. So it like exploded through the skin everywhere, and it. I actually felt kind of bad. It kind of traumatized somebody who had some like
There you go from copper to
PTSD.
gold.
I know who you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Alright,
And so I like put it out.
Pretty
Like,
good. You
I
can
haven't
see
done
some
it
little details
since.
here.
We're trying to get a pattern.
There's no
Oh yeah, it looks
hardly
like
lighting
bursting
imperfections
through.
of this
That's
stuff.
awesome.
Yeah,
So if we
it's
had
easier
time,
with wood.
at some point we're
But
gonna
you
probably do
can't
a
do
live
it with this, but the
performance.
smell is, it
So,
scars some people.
Oh,
If you've ever
What?
smelled
Because it's
people
the
burning, it's
Yeah,
very
it
simple.
smells the same as if you have burning flesh.
Oh,
Like
I
people
smell
who
a
have
burning
been
flesh.
in-
It smells like fresh toast Cheetos.
She was.
Well, thank you all for
combat
anybody who
medic.
joined. And if you're on YouTube,
And
thank you for showing
I
up.
didn't know.
Come see us at
So-
MidsouthMakers.org. Join our Discord
Yeah,
from there.
But she's like, I
and we
remember
have open houses
you know,
every Friday
helping
from
people who've been in fires. Like,
7
while we
p.m.
were
to
being
9
shot at. I
p.m.
was like, oh my God,
And then
I'm
we
so sorry.
have the free
I
prayer
felt
clinic
terrible.
every
I have some
month.
Indian
It's
friends
open
that have
to
been to
public
funeral pyres.
Come on
They
down and
can't
see
go to
us.
barbecue restaurants.
You have a great
Yeah.
afternoon,
Smell,
and
smell,
thank you for
It
joining.
smells similar.
Goodbye.
burn to death.
Yeah.